It's the anti-tracker.
We will return to your scheduled programming shortly, or we are currently experiencing technical difficulty.
What is going on, YouTube? Oh, I forgot to turn off the other camera. There we go. What's going on, YouTube? Michael J. Crawford, the anti-tracker here, getting ready for the rest of Identity Part 1. I'm really looking forward to this. The first half of this episode was really, really good. For those of you that were not with me last time, the brief recap is that pretty much a flawless setup to something really bad happening on, is it Kalon, or however you say it, Isaac's homeworld. Definitely got the vibe that Isaac's people are a lot more nefarious than they've appeared to be for the first season and a half of the Orville. We'll see if that's correct in very shortly. But Isaac was deactivated because his mission was complete. They took him back to his homeworld, and now it seems that some shenanigans are going on. Overall, I would say that the first half of this episode it definitely cracks up to be the best episode of Orville so far, and I know a lot of people have said that about this. My only beef with the episode so far is the fact that they had to dumb down the crew of the Orville in their line of questioning when they're talking to Kalon Prime, because it doesn't make sense that they would be that ignorant as to the way that Kalons think, considering they've had Isaac on the ship with them for a year and a half at least. Where's Mrs. Andy Trekker's SG1 reaction streams? Well, she and I have talked about doing some kind of joint review, not necessarily SG1, but something like if there's a book and a movie, and she reads the book, I watch the movie, and we kind of do something together. We're talking about doing something like that in the near future. I do know Mrs. Anti-Trekker is reluctant but willing to do stuff for the channel. And when I say reluctant, honestly, she sells herself short. She doesn't realize how much you guys actually like her. And she also, you know, and so she underestimates her ability to present on YouTube. But that being said, she is also eternally grateful to you guys. We were actually talking about it earlier today when we were doing some errands about the fact that this channel may be modest in size, but as far as character is concerned, the subscriber base, you guys are so much better than anything I've seen on any other YouTube channel. I don't have a bunch of haters on this channel. I don't have a bunch of people that are just complete jerks on this channel. And so, with the exception of, you know, one or two here and there, like Thomas. And speaking of Thomas, hey Thomas, how you doing? $1.99 says ship quiz on the website. All right, so you've got that figured out. So let me see if I can bring that up here. And you may be wondering why I say that the name of this live stream is the second part of the live reaction to Identity and Drinking People. We'll get into that in just a moment, and that is another thing from Mrs. Anti-Trekker. Before we get into the review, I'm going to drink a person live on the show. All right, so let's go to the Anti-Trekker website and see what Thomas has cooked up for us. I saw that one ship, and I was like trying to figure out what the heck it was. All right, so let's see. And now you see, I see it looks like a link. Whoa, that's weird. Okay, let me try this. Because your link is, it's kind of weird. It says good night and then a link, but the word night and the link are blended together, so the link didn't work. But if I copy the link and paste it, yes, it works fine. So I have the first ship here, Thomas, but I do not... I think you sent me the answer already, I think, didn't you? Let me see... let's see. Where is the... Okay, I see it there. Well, you have two answers, but I only see one ship. But I'm going to assume that the ship, the picture you sent me, Thomas, I'm going to assume the answer is the first one of the two that you sent me, but just based on the look of it. But we shall see, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. So, guys, here we go. This is a tough one, I will tell you. This is a tough one. Getting the function of this vessel may be easier to figure out than to figure out where this vessel is from. So, but let's see. Trekyards did an award show last... I saw a little notification for it, but I didn't get a chance to watch it. Hopefully it was better than the Oscars, which wouldn't be hard to do. All right, so let me bring up the... Oh, that's the wrong button. There it is. All right, so now you can see me. Wait. Looking at that. All right, so this ship is an actual canon ship from Star Trek. So good luck figuring that one out. And we'll see if you guys... Where should I put me? I'll just move over just a little more. There we go. All right. So first person to nail this bad boy gets to pick a Super Chat reward. Mr. Captain says Section 31. It is not Section 31. I demand my Miranda rights. You owe me a starship. Okay. Why is that? And hey, Andre, hope things over in Bosnia are going well. It's a broken Reliant. You know, my first glance, I actually kind of thought that same thing. I was like, whoa, did he like break a Reliant model or something? But no. That's a hideous ship. It is a hideous ship. I will not deny that one. Alex says it's a freighter. Not exactly. Worthy of the Last Jedi. First glance, I thought it was a Star Wars. Yeah. Section 31 didn't have ships until JJ Trek. Well, and they have them now on Discovery as well. The USS Lore. Yes, this is what Lore Reloaded starship would look like. And this may have to take the prize as the ugliest starship. I tell you, it's not a friggin' frigate. Boy, nobody's going to get this one, Thomas. I tell you, this is a tough one. I don't think anybody's going to get this one. Because I know I would not have. If you didn't send me I never would have come up with this one. Thomas Potts has given a clue. It was seen on Deep Space Nine during the Dominion War. Okay. So, USS Yo Mama. Yes, that's right. That's the ship. John nails it. It is, in fact, a tug. Yes, this is a canon Federation tug from Deep Space Nine. I did not catch this. I don't even know what episode it's in. No clue whatsoever. But Thomas is like Mr. Shipman on this channel. I mean, you should see his stupid Eagle Moss collection. I am envious, but I also shake my head at it because he has the Discovery ships. But good job, Don. Or not Don, John. Rhymes with Don. I saw Don put tug ship right after John did, but John was first. So, John, you get to pick a Super Chat reward. Oh, you're over here. What do you want? And actually, I'll turn this off for right now. And so, let me know what you're after there, John, and we'll get it playing for you. Got no notice again? Yeah, YouTube's notices are kind of... If you haven't already, good idea to click on the bell icon if you have it on your screen. That might help, but I don't know. And for some people, it's like turn notifications off and back on. And maybe it will... it'll work. It was seen at the beginning of A Time to Stand. Okay. Lore Unmasked. You got it. The classic. All right, let's bring that bad boy up.
Sir. We are being hailed. On screen. What is your problem?
I am Lore.
Do you need help?
I have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Lore Reloaded.
Let me guess, their rubber band broke, right?
I make YouTube go.
And Peter says he got his notification late. I'll tell you, YouTube is very inconsistent with notifications. So, you know, it is what it is. What did I think of the Axanar Mecha Random conversation? That's an interesting one. I don't know all the details of what happened behind the scenes as far as, I guess that somebody, and like I said, I don't know all the details of where this came from, but I guess somebody was accused of sexual misconduct of some kind. Someone at Axanar fully supports crucifying this guy. Mecha is basically saying, let's wait for the evidence. I'm kind of with Mecha on that. And then she actually had a direct interaction with the guys at Axanar over this. Quite frankly, I like I said, I got to go with Mecha on this. I don't, you know, it's funny because, you know, I disagree with Mecha on some stuff. Like you guys know, I've been very soft on Captain Marvel so far because I said I've taken a let's wait and see approach as far as whether or not the movie is crap. Now, Brie Larson, there's no defending. She is a crazy SJW nutbag. But that doesn't mean that Captain Marvel the movie is a crazy SJW film. Because, like I said in my video about it, you could say the same thing about Sigourney Weaver. You could say that about, Zoe Saldana. You could say that about a bunch of people, right? There are a lot of actresses and actors as well in Hollywood that are hard left SJW crazies that are in movies that are not hard left SJW films. And in fact, here's, you know, like Sigourney Weaver is a perfect example of the hypocrisy of Hollywood. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Sigourney Weaver can't act. I love Ellen Ripley. She is one of my favorite sci-fi characters of all time. Sigourney Weaver is an advocate for banning guns. Okay, she is definitely not a Second Amendment rights kind of girl. And she's been talking about how horrible, and this goes back a long ways. This is not anything new. But you know, going back to the 70s, she was outspoken about the fact that guns should be illegal, that assault weapons have no place in civilian hands, that it's absolutely this horrific thing, that it's just a bunch of men trying to compensate for something, that want to buy these guns, all these derogatory things about gun owners. Then she makes Aliens. And she, if you look at, I think it's on the DVD extras for Aliens, there, Sigourney Weaver, of course, was, you know, the rifles that they used are actually modified assault rifles, and they were firing blanks and stuff on the set, like is commonplace with guns. And so she had to be trained on how to hold it and how to fire it and all that. And when she got to fire the flamethrower and shoot off a whole round of ammunition, she talked about what a blast it was and how cool it was and how she loved doing it. And then she talked about how she kind of felt guilty about that because she's this anti-gun person, right? So and that's the thing, if you know, so Sigourney Weaver, do I agree with her on gun control? Hell no. But she was great in Aliens, and you know, and Aliens is definitely not a anti-gun movie. So, but well, stop handing out guns, especially something higher than a handgun or rifle. Anti-checker, all out loads for home defense. Well, no, I'm not handing out guns. Nobody's, not that I know of anyway, nobody's just like passing out guns. You know, and I know people have this misconstrued construed idea about Americans that, like, you go into Walmart in America and they're just like, hey, welcome to Walmart, have an assault rifle. That's not how it works, okay? It really isn't. It's like me, I'm a vegan, but I love steak. But no, I mean, guns are obviously legal in the United States. It's a protected right for people to own firearms, but that doesn't mean that everywhere, you know, and you know, that everywhere you go, people are just walking around with sidearms and going, yeehaw, let's go shoot some place. No, I'm so sick of that. But when people go on these rampages, when people do these mass shootings, which are horrifically terrible, terrible things that happen, and then people want to blame the equipment they used. Like somehow the equipment is what caused this. I guarantee you that this person, even if the gun was banned, would have gotten his hands on something. All right, so anyway. In Ireland, you can get a hunting gun. You have to give the police. Yeah, I know. Well, the UK is very tight on gun control. I don't think the Yeehaw's anti-trucker, but them, yeah. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that, Peter. But my point is not to start a discussion on gun control. It's just that I don't think that an actor's personal position on anything is relevant to the movie. And I think that as a society, and this is not just an American thing, this is across the board, we tend to we elevate actors like they're important. Like they are somehow enlightened, that they somehow have this level of power that the rest of us don't understand. And that's such a load of, they are just people. Like you, like me. They are no different. They are no better. All they, you know what they can do? They can play pretend in front of a camera. That's what they can do. And they might have a look that is pleasant to the eye, and that gets them a job. So the hell what? They are nothing special, right? And so I don't care if you're talking to James Cameron, or George Clooney, or Sigourney Weaver, or Sonequa Martin Green, or Brie Larson. Does not matter what their personal opinion is on anything. I don't care. What I do care about is whether or not Captain Marvel is going to be good. What I do care about is whether Star Trek Discovery is good. I don't give a crap about Sonequa Martin Green and how she thinks she's oppressed, even though she's sick rich and running around in Hollywood being celebrated. Oh yeah, it must be rough. I don't want to hear her bitch and whine about how oppressed she is. I really don't. And so I don't watch crap like Entertainment Weekly or that's a magazine, but Entertainment Tonight or, any of those stupid celebrity gossip shows, because I could not care less about the opinions of someone that can play make-believe. I don't care. So... And yet, yeah, and Brian, how many times and I don't know how old you are, but if you've ever watched any celebrity shows, or you've ever seen interviews about celebrities talking about working with other celebrities, how many times do they use the freaking word genius, right? Oh, Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker was genius. No, it wasn't. He was good at pretending to be a psychopath. That doesn't make him a freaking genius. It just means he was good at pretending. And unfortunately, he was a little messed up in the head, and he couldn't quite separate the fantasy of playing the Joker from reality. And guess what? It killed him. So I guess he wasn't such a genius, was he? So yeah. So I am just done with the deification, if you will, of celebrities. I really, really could not care less about the opinions of anybody who is acting. What I care about is the show they're in any good? That's all I care about. And so, thank you, Mrs. Anti-Tracker. So, just got a package. One of two important packages coming today. So, Joseph says, I'm happily oppressed. It's called marriage. Marriage is not oppression, let me tell you. Mrs. Anti-Checker and I have been happily married for 25 5 years. And I do not feel the slightest bit like I've lost out on something because of that commitment that I have with her. If anything, it has enriched our lives and held us through tough times that a lot of people couldn't handle. So, but Joseph, I know you're just messing around. But thank you for the €2. And if you want a super chat reward, Joseph, let me know quickly because I'm going to get into the Orville in just a second here. Speaking of Mrs. Anti-Tracker, so this, I have to say, this is hilarious. I hold in my hand a drink. This is not a... oh, by the way, Luke, I saw you came in. Good to see you. Remember that in medieval times, these actors were either buffoons or street comedians, sometimes even shunned by society. Ironic. Yeah, and they're still buffoons. But now we just call them geniuses. And Joseph wants number 1. You got it, my friend. A little Wawman action.
I'm a better female character than you.
You would be if you didn't spend all your time with that temper tantrum meme guy.
At least I'm not the one on a show with a questionable acronym.
Take it back.
No, 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 no,
yes,
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 yes. Oops. Sorry to bother you.
And sorry, DJ, I did miss you coming in, but, you know, you weren't wearing the bunny suit, so it's harder to catch you when you're not wearing your bunny suit. So, I hold in my hand a... one of those, like, meal drinks, you know, like Slim Fast or whatever, you know, this is supposed to be like a shake that you, do. Is Scarved Insect in that super chat new? Well, he is in the Uber chat number 6, if that's what you mean. It's a piglet suit. Well, it looks like a bunny suit to me. You're wearing it today because it's cold. I didn't catch that. All right. Brian says, you're better than me, Anti-Chuck. I have trouble separating the actors from their work. P.S. I'm in my 50s. Well, here's the thing, and that's why I avoid shows like Entertainment Tonight, right? Mrs. Anti-Chucker might watch one of these shows and hear about the antics of some actor, and then she'll say, I can't watch that actor's work anymore because they did something that offended me, right? And so, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, let's say, okay, oh, actually, here's a great example. Jim Carrey and autism, right? Horrible, horrible things that he said. He's absolutely wrong. He deserves to burn in hell for it. But that does not change the fact that Liar Liar is an awesome movie. It doesn't change the fact that The Truman Show is an awesome movie, right? And so I don't want to hear the nutbag things that Jim Carrey has to say about autism because I know that he is a freaking loon. Anyway, no, in Super Chat 1, yes, that is actually entirely voiced by Joshua, but he's not in it, I don't think. I mean, like, you don't see the Scarved Insect character. Anyway, let me get back to this. So, I hold here one of those meal supplement drinks. Yes, you do. Yes, I do what? I must have missed something. Jim Carrey is a loon. It shows in some of his films. That's true. Right in front... OFK of Kylo. What? Bird of Prey, you're losing. You're losing me. I don't know. Maybe, are you talking to someone else, or is that? I don't know what you're talking about. Andrew, my first mistake is to avoid to think that Jim Carrey is any different from the characters he plays. Yeah, he's a little nutty. Yeah, Bird of Prey is yelling, and I don't know what he's saying. Super one and watch it this time. Oh, okay, so you're saying that Scarved Insect is actually in it, and I just didn't catch it. Okay, let me watch it carefully.
I'm a better female character than you.
You would be if you didn't spend all your time with that temper tantrum meme guy.
At least I'm not the one on a show with a questionable acronym.
Take it back.
No, 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 no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes,
no,
yes, yes.
Oops. Sorry to bother you.
I didn't see it. You're saying that wait, let me go. Yeah, I know. I'm working on it, Hector. When Kylo turned... All right, let me... Oh, look at that. I did not see that. That's funny. He does... I mean,
didn't spend all your time with that temper tantrum meme guy.
At least
okay, I never even noticed that. That's funny. He throws little stuff in there like that. Yeah, he's like touching Kylo's chest. Yeah, because he's like, wow. All right, so, all right, so back to the drink. So this meal supplement drink. This is not a prank, like a joke thing. This is not an ironic thing. This is a 100% legitimate product that is a drink for meal supplementation. And Darth Killhound throws $2. You guys are not going to let me get to this. It says, North Dakota, no concealed carry permit required. Best. You know what? I'm not opposed to that because, first of all, I do think that it is a constitutional right for people to be armed. And I will say this as far as the gun control thing. If you genuinely don't know how many people in the room have weapons, you're going to be more polite. I'm just saying. All right, so why am I been talking about this, or at least trying to talk about this stupid drink? Because, and I am not okay. This is a soy-based drink that's strawberry flavored. I don't know if it's any good. Darth wants number 9, so let me play that, and then we'll find out if this drink is any good. Crappy birthday. And no, I have not finished Orville yet. We're going to get to that in just a moment here. However, but I want to talk about my lovely soy drink here. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to taste the strawberry soy drink. It's probably nasty because I don't like soy milk. You know, I've never been a fan of any of this stuff, but I'm going to taste it. Ugh. Oh, that is awful. Whew, man. That is bad. It is really, really bad. So, I'm going to make Mrs. Antrecker taste it because, oh, that is horrid. But, check this out. So, this soy-based meal supplement drink, and I am not making this up, and this is not a joke product. You ready for this? I'm going to turn this label around. No, that's what it is. Yeah, it's Soylent Pink, I guess. But yes. So she found this. We were grocery shopping today. They had this, and she had to buy it for me just so that I could taste it on the show. And oh, it is bad. Oh. Man, that is bad. Ugh. Put that over there. All right. So we can, let me see here. That was nothing. All right, so now we're going to continue on with the Orville. So, just, by the way, I'd like your guys' quick opinion, and this is specifically for any of you. How long have I been on? About a half an hour. I got a late start here. Sorry about that. Now we're going to get into the Orville. But I want to ask you guys something. For those of you that were here on Saturday night when I did the first half of this review. And that is the audio any better than it was on Saturday? I've been working on tweaking the settings. I got some newer software that I've been using so that I can send a different audio stream to YouTube versus to Discord. So I think I got the settings down a little bit better so that it doesn't sound as echoey and that the vocal sounds more full range. And that goes for both people that are watching or listening through YouTube and people that are listening through the live stream simulcast on Discord. So I know that Bird of Prey, Iron Wolf, J Street, and Thomas are all in Discord. So is it sounding better on the Discord side as well? Because that I can't tell. I can kind of hear it how it sounds on the YouTube side, but I can't tell how it sounds on Discord at all because there's not an easy way for me to monitor it through the Discord server. Although I think Thomas said it sounded better, so I'm going to take his word that he's talking about the Discord side of it. Unless he's not, in which case it won't matter. No, I'm not planning on talking about the Academy Awards because honestly, I don't give a crap about the... So here's my thing on the Academy Awards, all right? And then we are going to get into the Orville, I swear. I said on Saturday that if it takes 6 hours to get through the Orville on Monday, we'll do it, and I wasn't kidding. We're going to make it through this. And I also want to talk... those of you that are supporters of the channel, that if you don't normally, I'm going to ask you to please keep an eye out for today's supporter-based stream, because I have an idea that I may do if the supporters universally want it. The only thing is it would cost some money for me to implement this, and I'm not asking you to send money, don't get me wrong, that's not the issue. I just want to make sure that it's worth the expense before I commit. But if I do it, then it will dynamically change the supporter side of things quite a bit. And so if you are a patron supporter or a subscriber at antitrekker.com, then please, please, please join me for the supporter live stream. I'm probably going to do it a little differently than I usually do. Usually I do the supporter live stream like in the late afternoon or evening. I may do it right after this live stream just so that I know that you guys are aware that it's coming. Because this is something that I want to talk to you guys about. But it only really pertains to people that are subscribers because they're the only ones that will be able to see the difference. Anyway, let us, what was I, man, you guys just like got my brain turned. Oh yeah, the Oscars. What are the Oscars? The Oscars are, remember how earlier I was going on a tirade about, and thank you, yeah, the next time you watch Discovery, wear a blood pressure sleeve. Yeah. You got me with that one. Darth Raven, I'm a subscriber, I feel important now. Well then, yes, you are important to me. Check Discord, Soylent UK. Uh-oh, what do you got? You got Soylent products in the UK? And you do. Let me see if I can bring up that link here. That is the same product. So let me bring it up on the screen for you guys to see. So yes, this is the Soylent product here. You can get I guess a pack of it for 39 pounds. This item does not ship to the United States, but I have it right here, except that it's a different flavor. But yeah. So there you go. Soylent UK. Nice to know that you guys are, yeah. Are you asking, wait, are you going to, asking us if you should get a sex change? No, Thomas, I have no intention on asking you that. If I actually was going to get a sex change, I would not base that on the opinions of people that pay me a couple of bucks through the internet. Doesn't Amazon know that it's made from people? Well, obviously they don't care. Which is, you would think that Amazon, being the big company that they are, would in fact care about that, but apparently no. What they care about is, I guess, I don't know. Oh man, gotta love Amazon. All right, so as far as the Academy Awards, let me get that real quick, and then we're gonna get into this. Your stream is skipping for you, Hector? It doesn't seem to be skipping on my side. I wonder if it must be something in between me and you, where maybe there's something going on with the interwebs there. But the yeah, I would, you know, I would actually buy another bottle of this stuff if it had a green label. This is what you are supporting, Bird of Prey says, and sends a link. The end of food. Tasters have compared Soylent to cream of wheat. Oh, no, it's not. Cream of wheat is delicious compared to this stuff. And Brian, I saw you said that earlier. The next time I watch Discovery, I should wear a blood pressure sleeve. Yes. I might have to come up with a gauge for my blood pressure of some kind that you guys can see. So the Academy Awards. Remember how earlier in this stream, now some of you joined in after I went on this tirade, but I went on this big old thing about how little I care about the opinions of actors. I don't give a crap about what Brie Larson thinks about 40-year-old white men. I really don't care. I don't care what Jim Carrey thinks about autism. I don't care what Sigourney Weaver thinks about gun control. I could not care less about these idiots sitting there thinking that because they're good at playing pretend in front of a camera, that they're somehow more important than the rest of us and they should tell us how to think. I have no interest in these people whatsoever. I do enjoy their products, right? I enjoy Aliens. I enjoy Liar Liar. I enjoy most of Star Trek, all that. And so what do these self-righteous people do? Is once a year, they gather together and vote on which one of their self-righteous asses is the best self-righteous ass of the group. And then they get up there and they get a little gold statue and give a speech about how horrible conservatives are and how great it is that they are part of this wonderful, open community of good, well-enlightened liberals that seem to have serial rapists among their group every freaking year, right? These are the people that want to act like their community is so much better than the rest of the world. And Harvey Weinstein was one of them. Bill Cosby was one of them. All right? So let's not pretend that their community is this wonderful and light. What they are is they are the Roman elite. These are the peoples that were in the orgies and, you know, sitting there and just like being fed grapes and all that. These are the people that have no freaking clue to what life is like. I don't care if they want to pat themselves on the back about how freaking awesome they are. So I have not watched the Academy Awards in probably at least a decade because I really want to just flip my finger at every single one of them every time they give themselves an award. So, yeah. And the thing is, they are such hypocrites because they'll all get up there on that stage and talk about how important it is that they care about tolerance and everything. And then, you know, the Academy snubbed like every black picture a couple of years ago. And then they go, oh no. And so the next year we better nominate lots of black people. You know, they are just like the opposite of what they call themselves. Next Orville episode starts right after the stream. I'll tell you, Joseph, you're proud. Yeah, I'm going to be running this right up till Thursday at this point. Number 2, you got him, my friend.
In deepest squat, on coldest seat, bite your lip and grab 3 sheets. In brownest night, in daylight too. Beware my power, Brown Lantern's poo! Hey, didn't we do this joke already?
And so, thank you, my friend. But yeah, so no, I'm not going to talk about the Oscars because I don't care. You know what? I could see giving out awards for great stories and great performances and all that, but that's not what they're doing. They're handing out awards because they think this person is enlightened, right? I don't know who won for any of the major categories. I heard the Black Panther was nominated, and if it won for some stuff, awesome. But I genuinely, let me see. Who won? Well, let's see. Who won Best Picture? Green Book won Best Picture, I guess. Never heard of it. So who was Best Actor? Was Rami Malek. Never heard of him. All right. So what they do is they have other flavors of Soylent. Thank you, Peter. That's what I need is more Soylent. Let's take a look at so I see, yeah, it looks like they have a chocolate Soylent. but they don't have they need to have like a green one of some kind, spinach soylent or something. So what they do is they nominate these obscure little movies that nobody gives a crap about. And I will be honest with you, a lot of them aren't even very good, but they nominate them not based on the actual artistic integrity of the film. They nominate them based on the politics of the films. And that is part of the reason that so many of the big tentpole, as they're called, movies never ever win. And in fact, I'll bet you, I will bet you that that's why The Last Jedi was as crazy political as it was, is that they were trying to make it so that Star Wars could be nominated for an Academy Award, right? Because here's the thing, like the original, when the Academy had a little bit of integrity, the original Star Wars won Best Picture because it was a freaking awesome movie, right? But now Best Picture just means the movie that liberals like because it helps them feel good about themselves, right? And so they'll pick some movie about how horrible conservatives are or something. Alexander's here. I'm here. Cybok is best. Neelix is God. Jar Jar Binks made Star Wars great again. The Victorian Baboon Woman, Star Trek canon. Bernie 2020, feel the burn. You have got the craziest intro of anybody, my friend, but good to see you, my insane friend. I thought Star Wars did win for some reason. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, it was nominated. Okay. But in the modern era, the Academy, all it does is they like sniffing each other's asses, and that's all they do for 3 hours on a Sunday night, and I do not care, right? Because the thing is, it's like people are like, wow, but the Motion Picture Academy is them. And it's like, and this is the funny thing, when people are bitching about how, like these celebrities are bitching about how black people got snubbed or whatever, right? They're the ones that voted. They're such hypocrites. They are the ones that snubbed the people and then they bitch about it. Just like these people complain about sexual harassment, but these same people think that Roman Polanski is being unjustly prosecuted. Or persecuted because all he did was rape a 13-year-old. No, screw these people. I don't, and so, but they make, when they're not, their heads aren't up each other's asses all day. They make some great movies, they make some great television shows, and they make a lot of crap. And then they put the crap in front of you and say how awesome it is. Meanwhile, they look down upon movies like The Avengers and stuff because they're just, they're not pushing the agenda. They're not pushing their ideals. And even though, you know what? Infinity War should have been nominated for Best... I don't know what was nominated. Maybe it was. But Infinity War should have been nominated for Best Picture and damn well should have won it. Because that movie is an incredible artistic achievement. Not only from a simple cinematic perspective of all the incredible dynamics of having such a huge spectacle of CG and practical and effects, the characters, so many different characters woven together into an intricate story that actually made sense, but they actually culminated 10 years of making movies, almost 20 motion pictures led up to this one event, and they pulled it off without a freaking hitch, and they get nothing? F you, Motion Picture Academy. That is a freaking artistic masterpiece. Just because Thanos isn't sitting there crying about the plight of homosexuals does not mean that it's not a great film. But they don't understand that. They really don't understand that. Which category would the Victorian Baboon Woman win? Well, that's an interesting one because on the one hand you would think, well, Best Actress seems like a shoo-in, but is the Victorian Baboon Woman technically an actress or is she an animal? It's kind of on the fence there. It's really hard to know for 100% certainty, but what you may not realize, Alexander, is that shortly after her adventures in Starfleet, the Victorian Baboon Woman retired from Starfleet and became a motion picture director. And she was actually responsible for the sequel to Gorillas in the Mist. It was called Humans in the Mist, and it was about a group of baboon people that were observing humans in New York. It was a beautiful film, and so Victorian Baboon Woman actually did win for Best Picture and Best Director. So, yeah. Infinity War should have been sweeping the freaking awards. It's Infinity War, and I'm sorry, it may not have resonated with you, but I'm sorry, it was a great film. Infinity War was a hell of an achievement from an artistic perspective, and Spider-Verse won best. Well, there was, and the thing is, like, animated shouldn't even be a category. I'm sorry, it shouldn't. The only reason that Best Animated Film is a category is because they didn't want to nominate cartoons for Best Picture. But I'm sorry, having a separate category for different genre films is wrong. Why do we need a Best Animated Film and Best Picture? Right? It's like, why would you need to have? And I know they do this with the Emmys, but not with the Academy. Why do I have? Well, let's do Best Comedy. Let's do Best Action. Let's do Best Western Movie. Let's do Best. No, just do Best Picture. Outstanding achievement in the production of a motion picture. Period. And regardless of if you liked Infinity War or not, it's hard to argue that it was not an outstanding achievement. But I thought people complained over the frame rate. I didn't like the frame rate look of Spider-Verse, but whatever. I haven't watched. I'm sorry. Last year was not exactly a robust year for animated films. So, my problem with Infinity War is that it's basically magics. They grow suits from their bodies. Well, the only one who grows suits from his body is Tony Stark, and he explains it's like nanotech or whatever. And I get it. They just wanted a cheap out for him walking around with armor all the time. So, and Black Panther. I thought Black Panther got nominated, but I don't know if it did or not. But yeah. So I didn't have a problem with the nanotech, although it does seem like, boy, Tony's tech really suddenly went to the next level advanced compared to what he did before. Black Panther won a couple. Okay, Black Panther's suit grows. Well, Black Panther's. Oh, well, that was actually introduced in Black Panther. The suit is like a. It's very similar to Tony's nanotech. And the suit is stored in the necklace that he wears, I guess, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Just checked it up, and Green Book is about a black jazz musician driving around the South during segregation with his white friend and experiencing racism. Yeah, that is what the Academy thinks is relevant. Because you know what's relevant today? Going to the South and calling people racists. Because everybody knows that everybody in the South is a freaking racist. Anyway, let me move on. So we're going to watch some Orville now because I've worked myself up into a negative frenzy, and now I need some positivity. So now I'm going to mute the computer. So if you want to actually hear what I'm hearing as far as the show, you will need to be on the Discord for the audio stream. And Alexander, he says, we want 7 of 9 video of love. Well, I'll tell you, eventually we'll have to do something with the 7 of 9 concept, but I don't know what we're going to do yet. Thank you so much for the 2 fake Canadian dollars, Alexander. Now, I know what you're doing because you always throw a couple bucks in here every now and then later on in the show, once you've accumulated 10 bucks, you're going to ask for Mega Chat number 5. But you haven't quite gotten there yet, and so let's get into it. Where on Discord do you go? You go to, there is an audio channel that is titled Live Stream Simulcast. That is where you want to go, and you can hear all the audio. Iron Wolf, Josh, Thomas, and Darth Revan are all there, and it looks like you just found it, Mercer, so yes. Marlena's taking off, no spoilers. Yes, you don't want this spoiled. Absolutely. If you have not seen part 1 of the Orville Identity, do not continue with this live stream. I hate asking you to leave, but you are 100% right, because this episode, I don't even know how it ends, but I wouldn't want it spoiled. This is so good. Darth Revan says, I just joined and must say the audio is coming in brilliantly. Good. That's good to hear. I don't know how it's going to sound once I'm playing the show, but we'll find out shortly. And you guys on Discord are my guinea pigs there. Let me know how the audio mix is sounding with my voice as far as that's concerned. This is going to be tricky. But let us now see what's going on with the Orville. Oh, and so where were we? I should say is, and by the way, every now and then, see, this is the Orville in front of me. I will doing some stuff. Hey, thank you for this channel. If you're talking about the audio channel, don't thank me. Thank Mr. Miles, who unfortunately is not here right now, but this was Mr. Miles' idea to have an uncensored live stream simulcast so that you guys could hear what I was actually doing. And Mercer, I know I said this before, but now there's a few more people. If you are a patron supporter or a subscriber at antitrekker.com, at the end of this live stream, after this live stream ends, I'm going to start a supporter-only live stream, and you will want to be there, because we're going to talk about where a major directional shift of the channel if I do this, but I need you guys on board with it, because it's going to cost some money to do, and I don't want to waste money, because I don't have a lot of extra money to piss away. All right, so let us no, I am not getting a sex change, Darth Revan. Let's not go there. So last we saw Isaac is not going back to the Orville. He made that very clear, and the doctor basically convinced him to go and tell the kids goodbye. Now we're going back to the Kalons and to see what they're doing. And they have, I'll show you guys, this is a different angle on this shot. They have look at this. This looks like the design of a computer here, because there's not a chair around. There's no need. They just stand there and do their thing all freaking day. Why would they not? It makes perfect sense. And no, Bird of Prey, I'm not going to replay this from the beginning, because I don't want to be here until part 2 comes out. And so, yeah, they are kind of like the Binars, yes. All right, so let's move on. So their official explanation so far is that it's clear that the Union would benefit by being allies with the Kalons, which is true, but they don't see an advantage for them, right? They don't see why they should. Why would they have legs? That's a good question. They are modeled after, obviously, bipedal and everything. Now, since they are machines, my personal thought is that they were created by a humanoid race sometime in the past. But, you know, that's a whole other thing. So, Mercer is making the argument now that because the Union is this huge this huge group of various races, that they could benefit by learning, which is true, that they could learn about other people and collect more knowledge, which seems to be something that they would be interested in, especially since they sent Isaac over just to study the, you know, humanity and everything. So now the Kalons are arguing that humans can be violent, talking about, you know, our wars and stuff like that, which that makes sense. You know, I could see why they would be cautious about that. So this is an opportunity to preach the Federation gospel, if this are track, which I would be surprised if Captain Mercer does not start preaching the Federation gospel here. So yes, they are in fact preaching the Federation gospel. So, which that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It makes perfect sense in this particular case. But what's interesting here is that they actually came up with an interesting argument, because Kelly was saying how, you know, they're peaceful, blah, 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 blah. And they said, it seems that you oscillate between periods of peace and periods of turmoil. Can you prove that you've broken that cycle? That is an excellent point. I got to give him credit for that. Luke says, in sci-fi setting where bipedal smart species is the spacefaring majority, it doesn't surprise me to see bipedal robots, no matter how they got there in the first place. Well, yeah, I'm not shocked, but I'm just assuming that because since they are robots, that they were built by people. In Discord, you can adjust the volume. I'm not sure what you mean. Are you saying that, are you suggesting that the volume on the show is too loud or too quiet or something? Because I need to know where you're at. Too loud, it stutters for the show itself. Let me bring the volume down a little bit and see if that helps then. And we'll find out shortly. So thank you for pointing that out. I do appreciate it. And and keep posting me as far as the audio quality. It's going to take a while before I really get this down, because this is something I've never really done up until the last couple of days. All right, so Alexander says, I go to sleep. Have a nice day. Feel the burn. Take care, Alexander. You feel that burn, I guess. What a weirdo. All right, so let's move on. Ooh. So, again, preaching the Federation gospel, but I like this about Seth. Your finance trigger is an individual user issue, not you. Oh, okay, thank you, me. So yeah, let me know if it's sounding okay or if there's problems for sure, because I am still learning some of this stuff. So I like this. Seth MacFarlane, I got to give him credit, because he's doing something that on TNG they never once did, which is to have intelligent discourse about the Federation principles and stuff. So, for example, and this is beautifully done, where Captain Mercer says that you know, in the Union everybody is treated equally, which of course we've heard people say about Starfleet over and over and over. Without, well, they don't have eyes, so I can't say without blinking, but Kalon Prime responds with, and was our emissary treated equally? Now, I don't know how Mercer is going to react, but he clearly wasn't. I mean, there was a lot of times that people made fun of Isaac, treated him as an outsider, and all that. So I think that that's an interesting way. Berta Prey says, audio seems worse. I need something more specific. So telling me it's worse doesn't help me. You got to tell me why it's worse. Like, did it suddenly get crackly? Did the volume go up? Volume go down? It's cutting out. See, that's a thing with Discord. I don't know if there's a way around that. I think there's a problem with Discord. What Discord does is in order to try and conserve bandwidth, it tries to cut off the audio whenever there's silence. And even though I turned off the silence detection, it's probably still doing that. Let me go in real quick to the Discord settings and see if I can do anything with it here. Let's see. So yeah, I turned off the input sensitivity. Let me try adjusting the volume a little bit and see if that helps. And then it doesn't matter, video settings. So echo cancellation is on. Let me turn that off. So tell me if the stuttering, please, as quickly as possible. If you notice a significant difference, put a chat comment in while I'm messing with the settings here. Enable quality of service, high packet priority. Yeah, so far the same. Lower the volume of other applications when someone is speaking. No, we don't care about that. When I speak, or when, so we'll turn that off. So again, let's see. The problem seems to happen when the Orville is playing more than me. Yeah, I think that because it looks like the system can tell the difference between my voice and the Orville. So I'm trying to see if there's any settings that I can do. Show a warning when Discord is not detecting audio from your mic. I don't care. Use our latest technology to capture your screen. Okay, whatever. And all right. So I adjusted a couple settings. We'll see if that is doable. But again, for all my subscribers and supporters, we're going to talk about, it's basically an extension on what we're doing right now. You guys are going to love the idea, I think, but I want to make sure that we're all on the same page before I start forking out any money on it. All right. And creating a whole bunch of work, because it'll create a bunch of work, not just for me, but possibly if Bird of Prey is up to the task, for him as well, because I'm gonna need his assistance with some of this. Was Isaac on the planet for 700 years learning about humans until the Orville came to rescue him? They've become very advanced. I don't think they've said anything. No, you see, I think Isaac, it sounds like Isaac was constructed specifically for the Orville mission. Because, and that would explain why Isaac looks different than all of the rest of them. He has blue eyes compared to red. Last time we got into detail about how his body armor is different. His face is actually designed a little bit different. Everything about Isaac is different than the rest of the Kalons. So, Captain Redneck is here. Good to see you, Captain. And so we all know what that means, that eventually, whenever the computer can catch up, we will hear our traditional redneck salute. I hope. And thank you for joining us. Try to reinitialize the electroplasma auxiliary generator with adaptation type 1. I should have thought of that, Captain Redneck. So thank you for that piece of advice. No, blue eyes means good, red eyes means evil. Well, I said that last time, WSI Trek, that's why I went ahead and called it that I think the Kalon are evil. And so I do think that is the case. And so, and Mercer got off the Discord side of it. I understand if it's not good for you, that's fine. That's why I wanted to talk about improving things in the near future as far as that particular side of it, because I think there's something exciting. All right, so let me... Oh, you mean the 700 years that he was on the phase-shifting planet? Yes. I forgot about that. All right. Okay, so yep. So yes, Kalon Prime is calling him out on not treating Isaac as one fairly as one of the crew, and they even said that his cranial shell was disfigured. If you remember way back in season 1, that was the episode where Isaac cut off Gordon's leg, and that was kind of funny. Captain Foley's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Promise I'm not being negative today. By the way, Captain Foley, did you see my the re-edit, the second one that I showed you, that I sent you? Because I'm particularly proud of that one. What if Isaac can't stand how the doctor looks at him afterwards, so he constructs a machine that regrows limbs and he grows the actor's body for the doctor, but he's still super genius? I don't want to see Isaac become human. I don't. Trekyard says, I did. It was great. Thank you, Trekyards. I appreciate it. Or Captain Foley, I know it's you. So for those of you that don't know, I actually re-edited a scene from Star Trek Discovery, The Sound of Thunder, and I'm very proud of what I did there. Unfortunately, if I try to play it, I will immediately get DMCA'd, which is why it's on my alt channel, so that it doesn't, affect me. But that is also something I'm going to talk to you guys, the patrons and subscribers, after this live stream because, yeah. Does that mean the Doctor is a robosexual? Yes, Jimmy. In fact, that is true. The Doctor is a robosexual. We know that for a fact because they actually, remember, not in this episode, but in prior episodes, that she described their copulation. Yes. Now, this is the kind of, and I like this. I think this is subtle but nice. With the writing here is Seth makes it so that, like, when they say when they mention that they disfigured Isaac's cranial shell by making it look like Mr. Potato Head, and they said, "Was this for your amusement?" Now, his initial reaction, of course, is no, 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 no. But it really was, right? Because you don't play a practical joke on somebody for any reason other than amusement. And so, but the line that Ed says, he goes, no, no, no. Well, it was funny. And so he kind of had to admit, yes, they did it for amusement. But yeah, he says, but they weren't trying to hurt him. And he says, well, then Isaac did cut the guy's leg off. So Ed Mercer does a good job at preaching the gospel of the Federation without being as condescending as Picard. And I got to give him credit there because that's a hard thing to do. Because when you're trying to talk about how great your society is, you do tend to come off as a smug, self-righteous jerk. But I think that Ed comes off as someone who sincerely believes that the Kaylon would improve by joining the Union. So I like that a lot. I think that they do it well. Let's see. Is that why Bender said to Fry, I don't want people thinking we're robosexual. If anyone asks, you're my debugger, explains it. Yes. When he died in part 1, I was waiting for maybe the toy needs a new batteries joke. Yeah, I was surprised they didn't. All right, and let's... Bird of Prey says, Darth Revan, it's easy to kill humans. No one needs more than 5 minutes to figure out how to kill one. Bird of Prey, that sounds like you know that a little too well. I'm just saying. So, Captain Mercer is convinced they're going to get fired because the Kaylon knew about Mr. Potato Head. So, now they're telling Isaac that there's a discharge protocol that he has to go through before they allow him to leave the ship again. And of course they throw a big party for Isaac. So, which is kind of a nice moment. I like this. They basically have the whole crew in the mess hall, and some four-eyed thing is playing the piano. And so they made him a cake, which which has that cake is freaking awesome. Let me. You guys have to see the cake. I know you probably all already seen the freaking cake. I don't know why I'm acting like you guys don't know what's happening already, but check out this cake. That is an awesome cake. And so I would love that cake. It's a four-eyed thing, that's insensitive to four-eyed creatures. No, it's not insensitive because I did not assume the four-eyed creature's gender. That's why I said four-eyed thing. See? Yeah, Captain Redneck wants a corner piece of the cake. Well, you want one of the flowers? Is that... Oops, don't want to keep that on the screen. Don't want to get DMCA'd by Fox. All right, so let's continue. Got a good Bortus moment coming. Okay, I love good Bortus moments. But Gordon is doing something. Okay, he's talking to Mr. Four Eyes, and I don't know what's going on here. We'll see. Changing the song he's playing. So, what? Holy crap! Gordon can sing! That guy's got pipes on him! That's... wow. I mean, I know most of you guys know this already, because most of you have already seen this, but holy crap, Gordon can sing! Mr. Four Eyes, you assumed its gender. Okay. Well, you see, you got mad at me for calling it a thing, and now you get mad at me for calling it Mr. Well, make up your mind, Captain Foley. But no, seriously, listen to this for just a second. You can tell that's his voice, but damn, he's good. I'm really impressed. I gotta say, that is good. Alex, Dr. Alex is here, says, "Hi, Anti-Tracker. Just thought I'd pop in before my battery dies and say hi." I'm surprised you didn't say hello. But, yes. Yeah, Gordon, that's impressive. I really am impressed. The actor that plays Gordon, I did not think he could... yeah. And Captain Redneck points out Mr. doesn't denote male, Foley. How dare you? That's true. That's true. And Star Trek, they called Saavik Mr. and Saavik was female. So, so, but yeah, that is, wow. That is so bizarre to me that he sings that good, because he's, you know, let's face it, that actor has got some great comedic timing. He is definitely the funniest part of the show. And yeah, how does the four-eyed alien wear glasses? And if the four-eyed alien wears glasses, do his contemporaries call him Eight Eyes? Is worth wondering. Sir and Mr. Navy thing, yes. So Bortus can sing better than Gordon, if I had to guess. I don't know that I would agree with you on that, Bird of Prey. I could not imagine Bortus singing. Yeah, an eight-eyed nerd. Very good, Captain. I would like to hear Bortus sing, but Gordon's singing is freaking off the charts good. I am really surprised. So that was a nice... I mean, I know it doesn't mean anything to Isaac, but that was a nice going away gift to present that song. Uh-oh, here's the Bortus moment, I'll bet. Okay. Good Bortus moment with the cake. Bortus, I want a corner piece. So now I get what you were talking about, Captain Redneck. That's good. Why can't Lore and Bird sing like Gordon? Now, come on. If Lore and Bird sang like Gordon, it wouldn't be hilarious when you hear them sing, right? And... you know, while Bird sings with, you know, Bird sings with the sincerity that Gordon does. But that's all I can really say. As if I try to say anything, I'm just gonna, I don't want to be too insulting. Peter Quinn says, "I can sing, Anti-Trekker. I'm theatrically trained." Well, I actually am as well, but I choose not to because I don't want to hurt your ears. Yeah, this is good. So that, oh, that is, hold on. Oh, there's another four-eyed. There's at least two four-eyed things. Okay. So I know you, like I said, I know most of you guys have seen this already, but this is Captain Redneck nailed it. This is like the funniest line of the show so far. That is good. Oh man, that is good. I hate this party. And I just realized I didn't mute it, so you didn't get to hear it, but oh well. 69 nerds, yes. Still haven't heard the Eye of Cacophony national anthem yet, clearly. Well, you're going to... You know what, Dr. Alex, you're going to have to produce an Eye of Cacophony national anthem and put it on your channel. Then we can use it. Yeah, Bortus is great in this one. I got to say, that's a good Bortus moment. All right, so now they're going to have the toast for Isaac, I assume. So, oh, you already did it. Okay, well, looking forward to that, Doctor. So, I'll say this about the toast. It's not bad, but it's very standard. It sounds kind of fake. But at the same time, it sounds like something you would actually hear at a party. So I'm not complaining about it as much as, you know, I think that that's realistic, but they could have done something more with it, I think. Ring the Neck, is that the name of the official national anthem? Is Ring the Neck, huh? I will check that out later, though, Doctor. And it's that. By the way, let me ask you this, Dr. Alex, before I continue: is that song copyrighted, like from somebody other than you? So, like, if I use it during, you know, while we're showing Eye of Cacophony, am I going to get in trouble? Wait till Isaac gives his speech. See if you recognize it. Okay. Looking forward to that, Captain. Oh, so yeah, they're asking Isaac to get up and give a speech. Okay, so I don't know what he's going to say yet, but that was a cute little moment. You like me. You like me. You really like me. Well, who was that? Oh, gosh. Was this Sally Field that gave the You Like Me speech? Yep, I did not write it, so I'm afraid it would have to be a secret anthem. Yeah, I want to be careful about that. Peter says, any requests, Anti-Tracker? Nothing too complicated. Been a while since I've given my pipes air. You know what you should do, Peter, is you need to sing something for Bird of Prey. We need a Bird of Prey theme song. So just like, it's the Bird of Prey show! Something that he can put up at the beginning of his live streams. That's like really cool. He said you really like, yeah. No. Now, in The Mask, he said that, but he was referencing Sally Field. And so, that just shows me that you're younger than me and Captain Redneck, because we remember Sally Field and you don't. The Bird of Prey at Alexa show, yeah. Bird of Prey at Alexa! Set alarm. Yeah. We need to do something like that. All right, so they liked his speech because obviously in the 23rd or 24th or whatever century it is, they don't remember Sally Field, even though they like watching old shows. Bird of Prey by Uriah Heep, unfortunately, is also copyright. Well, yeah, we gotta have something. We gotta come up with something original for Bird of Prey's theme song. So yeah. Something about how he's like an action hero in his bed. I don't know. Oh, gee. And now, here's going to be... I don't know yet. I know that it's been... But this is the stupid side of the show. All right. Don't get me wrong. I like the doctor and everything, but I don't like that she has been dating him for a while. And she's had a lot of interactions with him in the last couple of episodes. You cannot tell me that by this point she does not understand how he's going to react to any. I mean, she looks like, and I don't know. I don't know exactly what she's going to say, but I'm betting she's going to make one more emotional plea to him, and she needs to stop that because she knows that ain't going to fly. But it's integral. Okay, we'll pay attention here, Captain. So she's pissed, but I know it's just who you are. That's good. So I mean, that was a nice moment for her. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, for sure. It's been a long time. Oh, man. Dragging him here from there to the docks. And Lobster Levin's in the house. Good to see you. And sing it! Cisco's gal is hotter than Burnham. Go figure. Well, yeah. But, that's because she married the Cisco. She's got some of that, Cisco in her. Anyway. Does that mean that there's a potential subplot that her children are actually part prophet? Anyway, the Laura singing the Bird of Prey theme is one way to get a show canceled. That's true. If Laura Reloaded sang the Bird of Prey theme, that would be dangerous. That would definitely be dangerous. She's got Cisco in her. Where's that video? I don't know. No comment. So, anyway, it's a good moment for her. It really was. But I still don't like the idea, and she's done this a couple times, and a lot of people have done this with robotic characters over the years, is, oh, I know that you're just an unfeeling machine, but I have to tell you how much I care. How does that sentence make any sense? If I know, that would be like me saying, I know you're just a can of WD-40, but I want you to know how much I care about you. That it doesn't make any sense. Because if you intellectually understand that Isaac is little more than a piece of equipment, then it makes no sense to try to have some sentimental send-off with him. But yeah. Andy Trucker sounds like my good friend when she speaks to her toy. Yeah, that's not what I needed to know. On the side note, why do you have WD-40 within arm's reach? Actually, the funny thing is, again, Mr. Miles is the one. My chair makes a lot of squeaky noise, and so he suggested WD-40, and it has substantially reduced the noise. There's still some, but yeah, it's reduced somewhat. And so thank you, Mr. Miles. I don't know where the hell you are today. It's funny because we're talking about Mr. Miles more on this stream than any other stream, and he's not here. Go figure. We know you love WD-40. Has your chair stopped squeaking? Not completely, but it's about 75% reduced. All right, so let's continue. You made a difference in our lives. So I'm looking forward to Isaac's response to this. This is a problem with the writing here. He should not have said it that way. Isaac said, "I am unable to share your emotion, Doctor, but it is appreciated." No, it's not. If he appreciated the emotion, he would be sharing the emotion. What he needed to say was, "I am unable to share your emotion, Doctor, but it is acknowledged." That would make more sense, coming from a machine. Where is Miles? Yeah, this is like the first time he hasn't shown up for a live stream in like forever, and we're talking about him. So, yeah, that's unfortunately saying that he appreciates the emotion is, in fact, a level of empathy, and he can't feel that empathy. But he can simply acknowledge it. But that's, you know, that's a nitpick, I know. That doesn't detract from the episode overall. Not like the earlier moments where they were trying to make sentimental arguments to Prime. But, yeah. God looks exactly how Gary Larson draws him. I didn't know that. Did you get a chance to meet him? I love Orville, but it's right. Definitely not perfect. It just appears that way when compared to SCD. That's very true. It's good, solid writing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Despite my bitching about the earlier scenes with Prime and their emotional pleas to him, I would not knock this, this episode overall based on writing. I mean, that's a scene out of this episode that's less than perfect, but the overall writing for this episode has been phenomenal. And we still got a little bit of ways to go, so let's find out what happens. So the little kid drew him a picture, which of course he's going to have zero sentimental value for, because and again, it's a cute moment, right, where the kid hands him this picture that he drew of obviously his mom, his brother, himself, and Isaac all on the table there. And that is a nice picture. And I do not call this as a problem with the show, because even though Isaac has absolutely no value for that picture at all, right? I wouldn't be surprised if as soon as he's out of the room, he throws it in the garbage or something. But the kid I believe that the kid would do that, right? Because I don't think that he understands the idea of a totally emotionless being. So, yeah. I know, I keep pausing, but that's... Yeah, sorry. All right, let's keep going here. And, it's... Okay, so this is a good line here, too. This going back and forth with the writing, where this is better than the appreciated, where the kid says, "This picture is so you won't forget us." He gives a proper response. He says, "The data I've collected about you is stored in my data core. You will not be forgotten." That's a perfectly accurate answer. And so I like that. The whole thing makes me hark back to Terminator 2 teaching machine to feel, except that, and that's actually, except that so far at least, we haven't had any real feelings come out of Isaac. I think that would be an interesting growth for his character, and who knows, if my theory about his people being evil, maybe that will turn Isaac around, that he will actually have feelings for the crew of the Orville. But we'll see. So the kid runs off because Isaac did not give an emotional response, but what could you possibly expect? People, and the doctor looks at him with a look, because same thing. It's like, come on, he's a freaking machine. You've been dating a vibrator, and you're upset that the vibrator doesn't have personal feelings for you. So Isaac is now, he's looking at the picture. Yeah, he just drops it on the floor as he walks away, walks down the hallway. Now, I'm mixed on that. On the one hand, from a dramatic standpoint, it works, obviously. Him simply casually dropping it and walking away shows you that Isaac genuinely has no feelings for these people. That being said, I don't think Isaac would do that. I think what he would do is find the nearest waste disposal unit and deposit it there. I don't think that he would simply drop it on the floor for the next random person to pick up, because that doesn't, demonetize the vibrator. Yeah, probably. But it makes sense that the logical thing to do would be to deposit it in the trash, not to simply drop it where he's standing. Especially if, I don't know, just... Doesn't see. The doctor is losing her favorite vibrator. She is. And she's mad because the vibrator doesn't have feelings. I thought the same thing. I don't think robots would litter or can't. Yeah, I don't think that Isaac would litter. Okay, I know I've talked. Now, I'm not going to do nearly what I did last time, but I got to talk for just a minute about the starship porn of this show. This episode is probably the single best television episode of starship porn I've seen that I can remember. Star Trek has always done starship porn well, but they didn't have the level of visual effects that they have here. In the films, we haven't seen starship porn like this really since the first 2 Star Trek films. So this is really, really nice starship porn. So I just got to point that out. I know that on Saturday night we spent half the live stream talking about starship porn, but and I'm not going to do that again. But just to reiterate, this episode is beautiful. So, just another day at work for Kelly and Ed. And see, and this is the heart of the show. Let's see. Do you remember back in part 1 when the primary took something out of Isaac? I think Isaac was downloaded, and what we have is an imposter with Isaac's memories pretending to be him. That's an interesting idea, Bird, but I don't know. He's acting consistently like Isaac, so I don't know. Well, I would store that back in the possibility category, but I think it's still Isaac. But the heart of Orville is Ed and Kelly are sitting there drinking coffee. It's obviously the next morning after the party and everything. And the two of them are just going over the day, and they're talking like 2 real people. This is what separates Orville from Star Trek and is better on Orville, is that these people feel like genuine people. This is 2 people at work talking about the docket for the day like 2 people at work would actually be talking. And that's one thing I really appreciate about this series overall. Uh-oh. So Bortus has detected something on the planet. So it seems that... Ooh. Okay, well... So... Alright, let me bring this picture up so you can see it while I'm talking about it. Alright, so right here we have... Bortus has picked up a bunch of spherical objects on the planet. And yeah, I'm working on the Orville audio. I'm not sure what's causing that. I'm going to have to play with it a little bit. It could be, I don't know, there's about 8 million different factors that it could be. So I'm going to have to work with that. But anyway, so we have all these little spheres that, and they say more of them are just constantly popping up. Like the Kalons are manufacturing these things in real time right now. And they also said that they're giving off a bunch of theta radiation, and they point out that theta radiation is typical of particle weapons. And so, careful there, Trigger. If you put audio in, wouldn't you risk getting copy strike? That's why you can only hear the Orville audio if you're on the Discord server, because they can't copyright strike Discord. So. These things are popping up all over. They're building a huge number of spheres that apparently are particle weapons. So I think that this is okay. There's two possibilities here. That I do think this kind of goes to confirm what we've already kind of established, that the Kalon are bad, and they are going to be doing something really, really nasty here in the near future. And what I think is one of two possibilities. These are either ships, and it's a massive armada that they're going to use to completely wipe out the Union. And that really the study was just to see if they should wipe out the Union, or if they could wipe out the Union easily. Or it's some kind of planetary weapon, like a Death Star type thing. It's one of those two. They're either individual ships, or they work in conjunction as a gigantic, massive particle emitter, where it's like Starkiller Base, where they can start popping off planets or something. One of those two. I would tend to think more along the ships, because this is, Seth MacFarlane makes no shame about the fact that this is a homage to Star Trek, not Star Wars. So yeah. That's what I have now. We're expecting 7 inches. Well, are you getting snow, James? Is that and you like the setup I have? Thank you. Actually, this is not the best view of it, but yeah. So if you like the alternate camera angle and stuff, if you are a patron supporter or subscriber at antitrekker.com, you're going to want to check out the subscriber stream a little bit later today, because we're going to talk about some stuff with that. Anyway, let's get back into this episode. Bird of Prey, if he's expecting 7 inches, I hope it's snow. Yeah, that would be a little disappointing if it was only 7, but yeah. So, yeah, they're saying to keep the scanning discreet because they don't want the Kalon to detect that they're snooping, which is smart. All right, and so then we cut to a random tree. Oh, okay, it's on the holodeck, or sorry, the simulator room, because they can't call it a holodeck. It's very warm here for February, and Trekker 2, warm for my liking this time of year. It's a little warm here, too. I would like to be having some snow, but unfortunately, we don't. But c'est la vie. And I know that Bird of Prey likes the snow because, he used to drive a Jeep, and he probably liked driving the Jeep in the snow, because Bird of Prey loves his Jeep like a man loves a Jeep. All right, so the doctor is going onto the holo simulator deck, looking up the tree. Because the kid's hiding up in the tree. That makes sense. So this must be like his favorite place to hide. And the kid found the picture. So he's upset. And so now Cassidy Yates taking off her shirt and climbing up the tree. Or jacket, sorry, not her shirt. I know, I didn't want to get Captain Redneck excited. Because, yeah, she's climbing up the tree. Talk to the kid. So, it's amazing to me that this episode does such a good job of telling a intimate story about a family, and at the same time making it an exciting sci-fi potential action story, assuming that my theories about the Kalon are true. Yes, Ty is the name of the kid. So the kid's asking, if he's just a machine, why did he do all this stuff that he didn't have to do? Like play games and stuff like that. So she's trying to explain to Ty why he is the way he is. Boy, the doctor is just full of really stupid things in this episode, because I understand it's a difficult thing for a mom to be dealing with a child who's in an awkward position like this, where the kid doesn't understand the whole thing with Isaac. But she literally just said, Ty, I know you can't understand this right now, but what's going on here? And then the kid cuts her off, but it's like, wait, if you know he can't understand it, then don't say it. Say it in a way that he can understand. You can say that, you know what, Isaac is very different than you and me. He doesn't have the same kind of feelings that you and I do. And so while he cares about us in his own way, he does not care about things like pictures. Because if he looks at a picture, he can snap a picture of it in his brain and never forget it and know exactly what it looks like forever. So actually having the picture makes, it does no good for him. Something like that. But to just say, well, I know you're not going to understand this, but let me explain to you. No. Why does the Orville let children onto the holodeck without any kind of passcode or parental permission or supervision? I would say because it's their recreation. I mean, think about it. I mean, it's like a public place. It's more like a park. Granted, the kids getting drunk on the holodeck was pretty bad, but yeah. It's not a holodeck, clearly. You're right. It's a simulation room. Imagining when a kid entered when porn was playing. Yeah, that they should have done that in the porn episode. Have Ty walk in with all the Mocklins walking around naked. That would have been interesting. But yeah, they didn't go there. I guess that's probably a good thing. All right, so let's keep going here. So doctor's saying we can... Wow, she's pretty lenient. You can stay in the simulator a little while longer, but then I expect you to go to school? Really? That's her parental advice? How about get your ass to school? Oh, the kid that played Ty actually drew that picture? That's cool. I didn't know that, but that looks... Because it does look like a kid's picture. And so, if so, he did a great job. That was awesome. And so, okay, so Ty, I got it. I know exactly how this is going down. So, time for prediction time here. So Ty is now, obviously you can see the look on his face. He's very determined. He's carrying the picture with him, and he's walking down the corridor at a fast pace. So, here we go. Ty is going to leave the Orville in search of Isaac, and he's going to discover the evil, dark secret of the Kalons, and that's how the plot's going to move forward. That's what I'm thinking here. Eric says, I agree. Get your ass to school. Exactly. And in fact, if mom had been a real mom, Ty would be in school right now instead of walking outside and getting his butt in trouble with a bunch of killbots. Just saying. Maybe parents need to take a little bit more responsibility. All right, so let's keep going here. So now Ty is entering in a passcode. So Ty knows the freaking security codes to open up the airlock and leave the ship. You want to talk about, it's not port security. They're sharing their security with the kids. What? The kid entered in a code to open up the airlock, and it worked. It's probably not a code. It's just no. It was a numeric keypad, and he hit a few numbers, and then the door. I don't know. How, let's go back. All right, because I don't want to make an assumption here. Come on. All right, bear with me just a second. Okay? That's. All right, so I'm bringing up the video here so you guys can see it. So here's Ty walking up to the door. And see, that is a numeric keypad right in front of him. All right. Yeah, and he's hit a 4-number code and the door opened. He put in a PIN number and the door opened. So the kid can go outside on a spaceship. That's okay. That's the second part of this episode that I'm going to say I didn't care for. So, actually, it looks to me, and I can't quite make it out here, Captain Redneck, but if you look at the keypad here, and I know it's larger on my screen than on yours because but and I don't know how good the resolution is coming across on YouTube, but where the mouse is right now is the final button that he hit. That doesn't look like an enter key to me. It looks like the 0 key. Because above it are 3 rows of numbers. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 0 at the bottom. And so that's honestly, I think that's what he did. He entered in a 4-digit PIN, and then the door just popped open. However, even if it was a 3-digit PIN and then enter, same thing. I mean, that's irrelevant. It just means whether it's slightly better or worse security. But yeah, he entered in the self-destruct code. But that is stupid. To have the kid know a code to open the airlock. What's next? Is the kid going to go up to the bridge and launch a torpedo? Nope. Okay, let's move on. So the kid is now going outside like a damn fool. Orville Wesley, yes. Well, at least their Wesley is not as annoying. Astronauts say space is like lying on a bed of hot coals and having dry ice poured on top of you. That doesn't sound pleasant. Alright, so now the kid is sneaking around the Kalon city. Now, this is interesting here. Because, on the one hand, how the hell is the kid not being noticed by the robots? I'm just saying, we're talking about robots here. Alright, so, yeah, there are two robots in his vicinity. Alright, look at this. Tell me, how is these are not simply people who might not notice him. These are robots. Are you seriously telling me that these 2 robots behind him can't see the kid running? I understand they were limited by the location that they're shooting at and all that, but they needed to have something more than that little barrier there that he was hiding behind, because clearly he's in the direct line of sight of the robots. And even if he was not in the direct line of sight of the robots, and I'm trying to remember, because Isaac has been on several missions and done some interesting things, but don't the Kalon have sensors of some kind that they might notice a single biological life form wandering around their city? It's not like they have, lots and lots of people walking around. It would be hard to tell just one more kid. This is the only biological life form outside of the Orville in the city. So, yeah, that's a problem. Not the worst thing ever, but it's a problem. All right, so the kid is running, hiding behind a little Mario-looking tube. Oh, and of course he accidentally hits the button to open up the trap door. So that must be where the horrible secret is. I'm calling it now. The horrible secret is down the Super Mario Brothers tube here. And for those of you, yeah, he's literally climbing into a Super Mario Brothers sewer pipe. So he, fortunately for him, the door just closed, and then he happens to drop his nifty picture, so that's his reason for climbing down into the sewers, apparently, which, of course, the Kalons would need sewers for all their robot poop. Right? Yeah, he does. If he had a mushroom to level up, that could probably help him quite a bit, Captain. They ignore humans like the Borg. I'll tell you, they are acting kind of like the Borg here, but I would guess that they're trying to say the kid was hiding from them and they just didn't see him. But it seems stupid to have a robot not notice someone that was right in their field of vision. But yeah, so the kid is looking around the sewers. Remarkably clean sewers, which would make sense since robots don't poop. And, ooh, mysterious cave at the end of the sewer. And the kid is slowly walking towards something, right? And so, okay. I mean, this is a nice shot where the kid is obviously about to witness whatever the horrible dark secret is. What's with light coming from the cave? Yes. That's true. What's generating this light so that we can see the kid? Shouldn't it be absolute pitch black in here? Because the robots wouldn't need a light in there, right? So he's going to see shirtless Lore. That's good. So this is a nice shot. It's well put together. But yeah, the light doesn't make a lot of sense. But okay, here's what I'm calling. Here's what's going to happen right now. Is the camera's going to do a reverse shot and show his face. He's going to have some kind of reaction to seeing the horrible thing. And then they're going to cut away to someone else doing something else because they don't want to reveal what the dark secret is yet. That's what I think is going to happen. Let's take a look. So the kid is walking. Well, okay, so maybe a little bit more shot here as the kid's walking. So he's walking through the dark cave, which has light for some reason. There we go. Yep, and there's the reaction shot. Oh my God, what is it? What is it? Oh, it's completely irrelevant. We're going to talk about something else now. Yeah, so I think he did see Lore dancing there. That's a super chat waiting to happen right there. All right, so now we have... Okay. Here's a problem. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but so the Prime is now talking to Ed and Kelly about how they're still deliberating on whether or not to join the Union. That absolutely confirms to me 100% the Kaylon are evil. I don't know what they're up to exactly. You guys have heard my theories on it, but the Kaylon are absolutely without question evil at this point. And you're thinking, Andy Checker, what are you talking about? They're evil because they haven't made up their mind yet? Yes, because they're computers. And you know what? They are all linked together, and they all have the massive computing power. This whole planet is like a giant computer. They've downloaded all of Isaac's reports, and they don't know if they want to join the Union? The decision should take a nanosecond from the time they downloaded the information. So, absolutely, 100%. They are stalling for some reason. Don't know why. That doesn't seem to make sense, but they are. They're purposely keeping the Orville there. And so, whatever is going on, the big balls of death that they're building on the southern part of the planet, the red eyes, the Orville's going to somehow be involved in their plans. Yeah, this is not going down in a good way for our fine heroes here. All right, so they're saying we appreciate your patience. We'll answer you soon. And yes, Captain Reddick, we all know red is evil. Mercer just said it feels like they're stalling. There we go. Okay, man, I should be a writer for Seth. He just said, a highly advanced race of AIs that can't make up their minds? Yeah, what's the... Okay, so the doctor... Okay, so yeah, so this is the setup. So the doctor comes running in. Captain, Ty's gone! Gee, I just gave him the access code for the airlock. Oopsie! But so now Ty is missing. He's not on the ship. So they're going to send people to find him, and that's how they're going to discover the dirty secret, right? So Bortus is scanning the planet for a human. And yeah, he might have gone out there to find Isaac. Bortus finds him. So, yeah. Good move. He's sending Bortus and Tala along with the doctor to go retrieve Ty. That makes sense because Bortus and Tala are the only two people on the crew that could go toe-to-toe with a Kalon. I think that makes sense. I think that somebody watched the episode near you, Joshua, and subconsciously heard it. No, it was kind of obvious what they were doing there. I mean, at this point, we already figured out that they're evil and everything. Now it's just putting together the tropes of how you put together a TV episode. Like the shot with the kid's face has been done a million times in a million different shows and movies. So it's not like I'm a genius for figuring that one out. As far as the AI thing, lucky guess, but I mean, it's also painfully obvious since we know that the Kalon are evil, that they must be stalling them, so it kind of makes sense. So they're looking in the caves now, and it's funny because so the kid was able to find his way around just fine, but Bortus and the rest, no, they need to have a flashlight. So yeah, that makes sense, but whatever. It's not like I'm a genius. Anti-Trekker 2019. Hey, technically correct. All right, so they found Ty. Ty's okay. Hasn't been turned into a monster or anything. And their Windows crashed and they need a reboot. That's probably what it is. So, of course, Ty said there's something bad. He's not going to say what it is. There's something bad so that you can go and look and see what it is so we can have the big reveal. So Bortus and Kayla are going to check it out. And we'll see what it is. So they're walking into the same cave that the kid walked into. That cave that looks like the set for every Next Generation episode that involves a cave. And you have to look at this cliche. Exactly, Captain Redneck. Yeah. Okay. Big pile of bones. And so now they're looking around. Yeah, it's a lot of bones. Looks vaguely humanoid. And so then she says, oh my God. So there's something else in there. So big pile of dead bone. And it's not like decomposing. These are just bones, right? And so that means that they've been dead for a significant amount of time. Because with that big of a pile of bodies, if it had been any time recently, they would have smelled it before they saw it. Assuming they thought about that. Why Mr. Miles isn't here? He was in the bottle of Soylent you drank earlier. That must. Well, I only drank a sip of it because this stuff is nasty. Do not buy Soylent. It is gross. They found bones. Dr. McCoy is alive. Yeah. So I'm thinking the bones, since they've obviously been there for a long time, probably whoever built the Kalon. And so that would make sense. And there is something here you should see. That is exactly what Bortus just said. So now he's... Oh, holy crap. The pile of bones is a lot bigger than I thought. So here's the full shot of it. So you can see, yeah, I mean, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of skeletons here. And so obviously that would make sense that if they have a huge underground depository of dead bodies, it's probably the creators of the robots. The robots, they're basically, it's the Terminator. They are the Terminators. They were created by this race, but they didn't have a John Connor, so Skynet came alive, wiped them all out, And they've been running the planet ever since. That's the victims. Or Cylons. Yes, Hector. Same thing. Cylons. So yes, the jokes about them being the Cylons earlier, 100% accurate. They are, in fact, the Cylons. So, except they were successful. At least they buried the dead. Well, yeah, give them that much, I suppose. And they're not. But that's the funny thing. So they buried their dead, right? They were very polite and cordial about that, except that Isaac just casually tosses crap out wherever he happens to be. So Isaac is the litter bug of the gang? What's... All right. I know the original Cylons were lizard people, but I'm talking about the 2004 BSG. Oh, there's a bunch of these graveyards. And so, okay. So Mercer orders him to return to the ship immediately. And so they're beginning preparations just as Mercer and Kelly come in. And they're talking to primary, or... So they're now... You have 3 feet of snow in Bend? Alex, I hate you. I would love to have 3 feet of snow right now. They do look kind of like Cybermen, but the Cybermen were more like the Borg, assimilating people. It seems that the Kalon wipe people out. So they're more like the Cylons or the Terminators. Yeah, billions of bodies. That would be the entire civilization, yes. And so he asked Isaac if he knows anything about what's going on, and Isaac is saying nothing, which is extremely disturbing. Now we know why Isaac didn't share the teleporter tech with the Union after learning about it on the planet that he was on for 700 years. Yeah, that would actually make sense. Ooh. Ooh, damn. All right, I got to share that with you guys. So check this. That was a line and a half right there. All right, so here we go. Ouch. Ouch. That is like, wow. So it is not your concern. You couldn't hear that? I could have sworn I unmuted it. But yeah. So he said, yeah, so he says, Isaac, what's going on? And he's like, that is not your concern. Whoa. But I could have sworn I unmuted it, but that's weird. All right. I think it's all a Kalon practical joke. That would be hilarious if in part 2 the whole thing turned out to be a joke. Like they have this huge fleet of ships heading towards Earth, and then all of a sudden they all get into a big formation, and the formation has the ships spell out letters that says April Fools or something. And then they say, well, Isaac told us you appreciate practical jokes. We would be honored to join the Union. All right, so let's see what happens. So, yeah, Isaac is being a little on the threatening side right now. He said that your impulsiveness and curiosity will not serve you any more than it served them. So that was a threat right there. And Thomas throws $1.99 into the chat. Thank you so much. The bones of bird of prey victims from Skylines. No, those are just Bird of Prey's real life victims. You realize that underneath Bird of Prey's house is a very similar thing. It looks just like that with all the people that have gotten physical therapy with Bird of Prey. In the meantime, number 8 he wants to see. Speaking of the great Bird of Prey, let's take a look at Bird of Prey's acting ability from the fine film Excalibur. Oh, I better unmute it. Come on. Dang it, unmute.
Anal natrach Urvas betad Dochiel dienle.
All right, here it comes. Bird of Prey as Merlin.
Ariel Natris Oris Bazi Bedhead Duchel Dementa. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Thank you, Bird of Prey, for your fine dramatic reading there from Excalibur. It's not an invasion fleet. It's used as the Kalon's catering service. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. And here I thought it was an invasion fleet. Silly me. All right, so let's continue on. There's only a few minutes left. Yep, they're the biological species that created the Kalon. So, wow. Well, okay. So, there's some good and bad here. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear it this time. So, let me know if you can hear... Let me rewind to... So could you hear that? I hope. And now I gotta wait for someone to answer. Bunch of jerks around here. You couldn't hear it? What is going on? Why are you not able to hear it? But you could, but on Discord you could hear it, right? What is going on? Well, Derek's going to cheer me up, so thank you, Derek. I don't know what the heck is going on. Why couldn't you hear that? That makes... Oh, probably because I turned down the volume because of the problems on this. Man, I'm going to have to really work with this. In the meantime, Derek throws 25 bucks into the chat. Thank you, Derek. I truly appreciate it. And wants to see some James Bond action. Well, I could definitely use the drink. And Dr. Alex is also back saying, so I'm back. My battery died. I'm guessing Anti-Tracker is another 3 minutes into the episode. Yeah, I got about 3 minutes left in the episode, so suck on that, Doctor. In the meantime, you came back just in time for this.
I may have a It's not clean. Repeat, I do not have a clean Take the bloody
Ah, yes, the suffering. And thank you again, Derek. You may appreciate the James Bond spoof, but I am a greedy bastard, so I just appreciate the money. Thank you. Seriously, though, your generosity is overwhelming, and I mean that. Ed Ticker looks so less old in that video. Thanks, Hector, I guess. That video was, when did we shoot that? We shot that about 4 years ago. All right, so why does it always say 50 plus people are watching, but always only a handful of people commenting? Well, Laughable, honestly, because people like to lurk. You know, I'm sure that there are people that, for example, I know that Donald Carlson, great guy, big supporter of the channel. He likes to watch the live streams a lot, but he doesn't comment very often. It's just not his thing. Mary does that as well. She'll have it on while she's doing stuff, but not necessarily be able to comment a lot. So it just depends on the individual. Some people, I do that too sometimes. Like, I have listened to entire live streams and never left a comment, and people didn't know I was there. But it's not like I'm trying to advertise or something. So, you know, and then other times if I can't, like, because when I work, like Mercer Create, I work from home as well. Like when I turn on my alternate camera angle here, the computer system that you see behind me here, that's provided by my work. And so when I'm live streaming and stuff, I'm right here. When I'm working, I'm literally right here. The other keyboard is here, got a phone here. So the if I'm working, I might have a live stream playing, but if I'm actively involved with something, I obviously can't comment. So yeah, it just depends. When are you going to record? I got to get that done, Josh. I know I've been so bad about that, but yes, I want to get Mrs. Antitrecker's voice in a couple of things. Not just lurking, dyslexic, hard to keep up. Hey, that's understandable too, James, but I'm glad you're here. And so people that hang out, you know, that's awesome. As long as, you know, if you know, it would be if everybody, and this is actually a problem on some live streams, and you guys have seen it. Like for example, I love Nerdrotic. He is a great guy, and I like to listen to his streams when he's on if I'm working or if it's at a time that I can catch, and he's great to listen to. But dang, try getting a comment in on that stream. But now, granted, he's got like 500 people watching the stream, and people are just constantly chatting. If all 55 of you that are watching right now were constantly chatting, I would have no way in hell of keeping up, and neither would any of you. And then it would get to the point where, like so many other YouTubers, I would only be able to read the super chats, and I don't want to ever become that. As much as I want a big audience, I also want to be able to interact with people regardless of whether or not they're giving money. Because to me, while you guys know I'm a greedy bastard and I want all your money, but I don't want you to think that that's the only reason I'm sitting here. Is for the few of you that can afford to give a little bit. And so no comment left behind. Exactly. If I could if I could have 500, 1,000 people watching a live stream, yeah, that would be awesome. But I don't ever want to be at the point where I'd say, well, if you want me to answer, better leave a super chat. And by the way, better be a big one, because you leave a little $2 super chat, I'm going to ignore it because somebody's giving me 50. No, that's not who I am. I want to, because I feel like, and this is, I know I'm going on a tirade here. We're almost done with the episode. We'll get back to it in just a minute. But this is something that Mrs. Antitrekker and I were talking about as well, is that this channel, I'm so proud of the fact that there are so many of you that I know, that if one of you, you know, and there's a lot of you that, I mean, like, for example, if I was walking down the street and somebody walked up to me and said, hey, I'm Mercer Create, I would know who you were, you know? And so not just the people that stream, but based on your comments. And so that's really cool. I love that. And no, I am never going to be John Campea. Okay. I liked John Campea a little bit, back in his AMC days, but man, he is just, I haven't seen him probably in a year, so I could be exaggerating. But the last time I was watching his channel, it's like, first of all, on his live streams, yes, he will only respond to super chats, right? He does not respond to regular chats, period. And so that's strike one. He also clearly is influenced by his relationships that he has with Hollywood insiders. And so he puts out, a lot of the times when he's putting out his commentary or criticism of certain projects, it becomes painfully obvious if he is in the know with the people of that project, because he will take the most garbage project and sing its praises just because of his relationship with various people in showbiz. And here's the thing. If you want to be an effective pundit on YouTube, and this is a problem, okay? This is a genuine problem that that's very few people know how to solve. I'll tell you someone who has in just a minute. But if you really want to be an effective pundit on YouTube, you cannot have any kind of relationship with people on the inside of show business. Because if you do, you are compromising your integrity no matter what. Now, when I say that there's one person I know that's kind of worked around that, that would be, I don't know if he's still here, but that would be Captain Foley and Commander Cockings over at Trek Yards. They obviously know a lot of Star Trek insiders as far as visual effects people primarily. And they do talk about Star Trek on their shows. But what they tend to do is focus in not on criticizing Trek as much as talking about the technology of Trek, talking about the various ships and all that. And that makes it so that they can give their honest opinion about some stuff without offending the people that obviously help their channel by giving them information and helping them out. So Trek Yards does an excellent job with that. Now, I know Captain Foley has some strong opinions about certain things that he won't say on his channel for that reason, but that's not his channel. You don't go to Trek Yards for harsh criticism. You go to Trek Yards because you want technical information. That is what he and Sam are so good at, and I really appreciate that about them. And they are second to none on YouTube with that. There is no, and I would never try to compete with them as far as a purely technical breakdown of stuff like that. $100 to read a comment. No, 1,000. But Bird of Praise this time. Yeah. So from now on, if you don't leave a $100 super chat, I will not read your comment. Right? That's the John Campea way. So, and don't get me wrong. And I know you're joking, Laughable Larry, about going to check cards to be put to sleep. But that's the thing is, and I know they sometimes have that reputation that they're boring, right? But they're not going for, like, you know, there are different classes of YouTube, right? You have your YouTubers that are just fueled by 100% emotion. And then you have your YouTube, and for there you have things like The Quartering, Geeks and Gamers, stuff like that. Then you have people that are kind of striding the balance between emotion and genuine criticism. So they get emotionally involved for sure, but in the core you can see a lot of good genuine criticism. And there I lump people like Doomcock, like Nerdrotic, Mecha Random, right? They get worked up, they get emotional for sure, but they also have some genuine criticism in what they're saying. All right. And then you have your people that are almost emotion free. They are technical to the core. They will break it down and give you the facts and just the facts. And at that, Trek Yards is king. And so, yeah. And you're right, Doctor. Trek Yards is definitely not clickbait clowns. That's for sure. Bird falls into the Korean cooking YouTubers about his... That's a bit rough. Darth, what is with your thing in Koreans? I don't understand. You really hate Koreans, Darth. You're a racist. You know that, right? Bird of Prey. Here's the thing. I know people like to compare Bird of Prey to Frank Sinatra. You're missing the point. Bird of Prey is Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra didn't die. He just got a lot of plastic surgery and now is Bird of Prey. But yeah. And by the way, who was it that, I think it was, I can't remember, somebody posted it in Discord, I think, but it was kind of funny where they said that, basically paraphrasing Bender, showing the Orville and saying, yeah, I'm going to make Star Trek, but with blackjack and hookers. That's pretty much it. All right. So, let's move on and see. Oh, wait, man, just in case the audio comes through, I better mute it again. Oh, gee. No. Look, the Doctor is the weak link here again, where after Isaac is explaining that they basically committed genocide against their creators, the Doctor, keep in mind, Isaac is not acting any different than he ever has. He's presenting a very matter of fact. He's got no emotional connection to it. He's simply explaining, we took no pleasure in killing because they don't take pleasure in anything. So that's 100% true. They took no pleasure in killing their creators, but it was a matter of survival. They logically deduced that their creators were going to eliminate them unless they eliminated their creators. So they chose to eliminate their creators. Self-preservation, and that is logical. I don't have a problem with their reasoning. But then the Doctor looks at him and says, I don't know you anymore. I never did. Stop. Just stop. So that was a weak moment in this. But again, overall, this episode is really blowing me away. And here's the thing. We've only got a few minutes left. And I'm sure that these last few minutes of this episode are probably where all the action is going to be. Because so far, it's been build up. It's been nothing but a nice, slow, steady build. And you can feel that this is it. This is where things are going to turn around really, really bad. And by the way, I understand, yeah, you could argue about race and nationality and stuff. Koreans are, you could argue, well, Asian is the race, Korean is a nationality, but blah, 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 blah. You get it, and whatever. Nope, it all resolves in the last minute. I doubt this is going to be resolved, because if it was going to be resolved, it wouldn't be called Part 1. So he said, by now you must realize that Kalon never intended to join your union. And she's like, what are we doing here then? And Isaac says nothing, which is kind of disturbing. But you would think, now I don't know what they're going to do in a moment, but let's say it was to, just to prepare the invasion force. He should say it. Now, what are they going to do? They can't stop him. And even if they ordered the ship to do something, what's the ship going to do? When the Orville showed up at the beginning of this episode, well, midway through this episode, when they first showed up, the Kalon were able to remotely shut down every system on the ship. There's nothing they can do. But anyway, let's take a look. So, Captain Mercer's like, you can let your people know we're withdrawing our offer and take care. Okay, so this is where things are going to go bad. We know it, because here's what's going on. Obviously, they're not there to join the Union. And Mercer thinks, because Mercer is an optimist, so he's probably thinking at this point, well, in that case, we're done, and we'll just part company, right? And we'll all be at peace. Obviously, the Kalon are up to something, or else they wouldn't have brought him there in the first place. So, they're not going to let them leave. So, I think this is where it's about to go down here. So, let's find out. And, of course, yes, so two more are coming up behind them to stop them from leaving. And I'll tell you, the way that they look so impersonal is actually very effective here. So You know, seeing those two and knowing, since they've seen Isaac's capabilities over the last couple of years, they've got to be nervous at this point. So, because they know that either one of these guys could easily defeat them. I won't be able to respond to anything or do anything for like 20 minutes. So if you need help with the Patreon stream, wait until I get back. Will do, Bird. Thank you for the heads up. All right, so now let's move forward. Holy, what the? Okay. So, oh, I didn't even realize I still had it on the screen. So yeah, the Kalon have head guns. That's freaking scary. Okay, I got to give them credit here. That is original. Having guns popping out of their heads, that's original. I like that. That was like, whoa. That's not good. So not only are the Kalons physically superior, mentally superior to humans and everything, but they have guns in their heads. So, yeah, they're screwed. All right, so, yeah, that's... Yeah, this is a better shot of the head guns. Let's... The head guns are very impressive looking as far as... I like the effect of them just kind of popping out. That is really cool. So yeah, I don't think you'd be wanting to piss off the Kalons. That's for sure. Yeah, their eyes are basically, yeah, and that makes sense because if their eyes would be their targeting systems, so that makes perfect sense. If their creators made them this way, no wonder they lose. Well, I'm assuming that the creators probably didn't originally put in the head guns. Maybe that was an improvement they added later. But yeah. And Isaac, yeah, you're right. Why doesn't Isaac have head guns? Maybe he does, but then again, we've already talked about how Isaac is different in a lot of ways to the other Kalon. So yeah, definitely not a good scenario here. And that's not. We still got a few minutes left. So, all right. So they're escorting Mercer and company up. It looks like back to the Orville, and Mercer's asking what's going on. So it's just telling them to shut up, basically. Ooh. Okay, so Isaac just spilled the beans here. The doctor asked what his real, was he ever telling the truth? And he said that his mission was, that it was accurate. His mission was to study the behavior patterns of the people of the Union. However, are they CG or virtual? No, those are, I think what we're looking at is the actual transformation is clearly CG, but I think that the long distance shots of the guns just hanging there are real. And then probably CG enhanced. But and Captain Rennick says, wife gave me head guns last night and I blame the whiskey. He has head guns. You can see them when his head... I didn't catch it. Yeah, I wasn't looking for it. I'll have to go back and look at that. I forgot that they did open up his head earlier. After we finish this, I'll have to go back and see. But yeah, anyway, so Isaac spills the beans here to the doctor, saying that while his mission was indeed simply to observe and record the behavior patterns, it was not to see if the Kalon would want to join the Union, but rather whether or not the Union is worth preserving. I guess that's what's known as headcanon. Oh, doctor, that was bad. So now Prime is explaining that their builders were inferior beings. Okay, so he's saying that their builders would try to constrain their evolution, and he's suggesting that the Union would do the same thing if they allowed them to continue to exist. Isaac said, season 1, that he didn't need his eyes. They're decorative and to make people comfortable. Well, except that it seems like, because Isaac and the other ones have not just the glowing dots on their head, but like they have glowing dots on their shoulders, on their wrists. So I'm thinking that they're sensors of some kind. I don't know if they... I'm sure they explained it at some point, but I don't know. And McGray... I did notice, yes, the Kalon's calling Isaac primary just before Ed confronted Isaac. But yeah, but now we have primary back, which is interesting. I don't know if that was a mistake or if Isaac is officially in charge now. But... it doesn't seem to make sense that Isaac would be in charge, because it does seem like Prime is still Prime. So Ed is suggesting that, hey, let us go and the Union will never come back and never bother them. Which is a reasonable plea, although... yeah, they're evil killbots, so that's not going to happen. Maybe as Prime of their Hitler fan group. That could be. That could be. So the Kalon, the reason that they're doing all this, and it's an interesting... I'll give them credit, because you have to give them a motive, right? What is their motive for going out and killing every sentient species in the galaxy? That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, because why not just stay on their home planet? Well, their explanation is that they've filled up, they've basically maxed out their hard drives. They don't have room for any more information on their planet. So they need to expand beyond the confines of their planet. And that actually could make sense. But coexistence is not possible based on their studies. So, again, the doctor, being the weak link, turns around to Isaac and says, "Is that how you feel too? That we should all just be..." And of course, Isaac doesn't answer, and then she's like, "Answer me, you son of a bitch!" And you know, her emotions are a bit much, but yeah. So the Kalons are the Cylons from Battlestar Galactica 2004, the Borg. Oh, they're definitely the Cylons from Battlestar 2004, because the Borg wanted to assimilate humanity. The Kalons want to exterminate humanity. So, yeah. That mirrors the Binars. They needed more memory storage space. So I couldn't remember that. So, yeah. Good call out then. Isaac's going to save the day in the next episode. I hope so. I'd hate to see Isaac gone. Oops. Yeah, they're screwed. That was a good moment, though. Mercer, realizing that there's absolutely no way out of this, immediately, you can see him right here, he turns around and immediately orders the Orville to leave, and gets cut off just a few seconds later. So he gets cut off, and so you would think, okay, so the question then becomes, is Bortus the type that would order them to immediately leave, or the type that would say, we're not leaving without the captain, kind of thing, right? But before we even get an answer to that, the Kalon shut down the Orville. So it's over. They can't fight them. And every airlock on the ship just opened, and they're being boarded. It is over. It is freaking over. What are you going to do against these things? Derek throws another couple of bucks in. Thank you so much, my friend. Says, could they conquer an uninhabitable planet? Well, you would think they could. I mean, they wouldn't need to conquer it, obviously. They could build facilities, and even if, like, if you tried to land somewhere where the atmosphere was hydrochloric acid or something, you could just redesign your skin to be effective against that. But, yeah, they would still eventually need to just keep expanding. And so I think that the Kaylon, if you think of it from a purely dispassionate, unemotional, pragmatic standpoint, eventually the Kaylon are going to have to wipe out all life if they're going to continue. Because they're going to just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. And so they'll run out of uninhabited planets. And eventually they're going to have to encroach on other civilizations. So even if the planet, if the Kaylon homeworld is the only planet in their system, so they go to a neighboring system and they start expanding, and then they just keep growing and growing and growing. Darth Herman says maybe the Krill will join the Union in the war. That could be interesting. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to fight these guys. I mean, look at what badasses they are. They have head guns, and they're strong as this, Bortus or what's her name? I forgot her name, but they're super strong. They're super fast. They're super intelligent. EMP bombs. That could be. Maybe Michael Burnham will show up. That could save him. Yeah, this is freaking a nightmare scenario right here. So, yeah, that's not good. Being boarded by a bunch of robots like that. So they're coming onto the Orville. They're deploying their head guns. And... oh, okay, so I'll give them this much. They're not invincible. Because the Orville personnel are fighting back, and they are not... while they're hopelessly outgunned and outmatched here, the Orville weapons are effective on Kaylon, so they're not indestructible. Burnham built the Kaylons to destroy the Orville. Yes, their leader is the Red Angel. Just put in the deactivation codes for the droid army of the Trade Federation. That could work. They're terrible shots, the Kaylons. Well, but there's enough of them. Well, they're not that bad. I mean, right there we saw they fired 4 shots. 2 of them were kills. The other 2 they missed. And so they're not horrifically bad shots. I mean, like, they're better than stormtroopers on a 50 percentile. That's not bad. But you would think, being advanced computers, they would pretty much never miss. But if they did that, they'd really they'd paint themselves into a corner. There would be no way out of this scenario. So, yeah, and yes, and both of the people killed there are red shirts. You're very correct, James. Good, good thing to call out there. Yeah, their shooting accuracy is actually better than the Orville personnel. So I'm going to show a little bit more here. So if we look here, see there's a couple more crew members. And I do like this sequence because, and 2 more red shirts, so we know exactly what's going to happen. But I do like this sequence because it's showing that the crew of the Orville is fighting back. They're not simply blindly surrendering. I do kind of like that. But you see, look at that. 2 shots, 1 kill there. There's another kill. I mean, they are not messing around. You see, another kill, 1 shot, 1 kill there. And the humans got off probably a dozen shots and took out 2 of them. 2 or 3. So that's... the Orville went to the future. The Kaylons didn't take over. Okay. There are probably trillions of them. Why fight? Well, because that's the human indomitable spirit. You would never give up the fight. You have to fight to the bitter end. That's the human spirit right there. Okay, so now we get this the kids in danger thing, which, you know, I got to give them some credit. At least they're showing it, but, you know, like on Star Trek The Next Generation, for some reason they never showed kids when the Borg showed up and attacked. Never give up, never surrender. Yes. Will they kill Isaac? I don't think they will. I don't know what they're going to do in episode 2 or in part 2 of this, but I'm guessing that Isaac is going to turn around. Seth MacFarlane planned this all along, Anti-Trekker? Well played. I don't know. If he did a good job. Because if this was actually the intent with Isaac's people to create the ultimate villain, damn, that was good. I gotta give him credit, because I never thought of the Kaylon as being evil until this episode. Never even crossed my mind. So, okay, so they are capturing people. They're not just eliminating everybody. Although that doesn't seem to make sense. That's a problem with killbots. And because we don't see Yaphet. Yeah, that's true. I wonder where Yaphet is. But yeah, the problem here is that, okay, so now they're taking them prisoner. Why? Give me a cold-hearted, logical reason not to kill the crew. They've already pretty much they've pretty much said that they're planning on committing extermination of all life. So why not just use your head guns and annihilate the entire crew of the Orville? Why are you not killing everybody? That's a flaw in the Kaylon logic here. I don't understand that. So. Yeah, that time it took 4 shots from the Kaylon to take that one down. That's probably their worst shooting. Yaphet could have children through mitosis, and then they give a fighting chance to break the ship. That's true. He could do something like that. If they killed them, the series would be over. Well, I know. But you see, Captain Redneck's right. They don't kill because quantum. They don't kill because of story, but... because obviously, if they simply walked through the ship exterminating every person as they that they came across, which would be more like the actions of a machine, then you wouldn't have another episode, right? Because Mercer, Kelly, all those guys would already be dead, because Isaac would just say, kill them. And then they would kill them. And then they would send in a bunch of robots to kill everybody on the ship. And Gordon and everybody else would just be dead. So I get that, but what they needed to do was to come up with a reason not to kill them. Because right now, there is no reason that they're not just wholesale murdering everybody. I mean, it's not like they got to save ammunition. But they're marching the entire crew of the Orville down the hallway now. Now, this is actually, I gotta say, especially if you think about what they've been doing over the course of the season with some of the stories, this is interesting. Clyden holding he and Bortus's child, scared to death. And think about what Clyden and Bortus and that kid have been through this season alone, not to mention last season. And it's interesting because you got to have mixed feelings about Clyden, right? Clyden is obviously something of a bigot. Clyden is a jerk and all that. But he's still trying to protect his child, you know? Maybe they captured to convert them to Kaylons. They could take the live being brain patterns and convert them into computer programs into Kaylon bodies. That would also seem irrational because they mentioned all the cognitive malfunctions that biological organisms have. So, I don't know. I don't see a reason. It's only murder when it's illegal. That's not true, Captain Redneck. Murder is not necessarily just the act being illegal. Murder is killing another individual with malice. as opposed to killing someone in self-defense. They need a human counterpart like V'ger, the Borg Queen. We have another trailer for Avengers Endgame, just appeared on YouTube. Awesome. I will check that out after the stream. I would love to play it right now, but I don't want to get, hit by the copyright machine. But thank you for filling me in on that, Peter. I'm looking forward to it. So Clyden obviously surrenders and looks scared to death, but, who wouldn't be when you have a bunch of killbots taking over the ship? But why aren't they killing everybody? They're not very good killbots. Wow, wow. Just look at all the red shirts. I gotta believe Seth did this on purpose. It looks like pretty much almost every victim is a red shirt, which is hilarious. And this is the thing. Just getting into the philosophical side of murder for a moment. Sci-fi. War is not the same as murder. A soldier killing another soldier in a war is not murder. That soldier has no personal motivation for killing the other soldier. He's doing it for king and country. Now, we may not agree with the principles of the war, what caused it or whatever, but there is a difference between a soldier killing in the line of duty and a person committing an act of murder. And it's not just that one is legal and the other isn't. Because if a war is deemed as an illegal war, right, or a war crime, we tend not to blame the grunt, right? We tend to blame the people giving the orders. I think they just stunned him, hashtag practical joke. Yeah, well, if that's the case, this one here has a lot of blood on him for someone who just got stunned. Unless maybe he was eating lunch and he spilled ketchup on it. That would be hilarious if they came up with some way that every single one of these people is still alive. I wonder if the Kalons use some aspect of their builder's brain patterns in Isaac to make him more effective liaison or spy, which could then come back to bite him in the ass. That could be. I don't know how they're going to write their way out of this. I got to say, Seth set up an interesting challenge. But if it's true, as someone said earlier, that Seth had planned this from day one to have the Kalon turn out to be the bad guys, I'm sure that there's going to be... He wouldn't have gone through... at least I wouldn't think that he would make Isaac either kill him off. Well, I could see him if he's the leader of the Kalon, like he could be a reoccurring villain now. But yeah, the Christmas truce. Yes, that's a great example. The Christmas truce during the Great War. All grunts were friends. Yes. Look for the trailer for part 2. It's obviously... I'll look that up in just a minute, Lee, but first let me finish part 1. Alright, so there's still the Kalon are marching around, got the whole crew basically captured. Definitely does not look good for the Valiant crew. And they're walking them all onto the hangar deck for some reason. Now they're storming the bridge. What? Okay. For some reason, okay, so now Captain Mercer is there with them, and he orders Bortus to stand down. Now, what confused me is not necessarily the order to stand down, as much as why did he give the order to stand down? Because the thing is that I would assume that he's giving the order so that they don't get killed. But how does Mercer know they're not going to be killed? Because they completely eradicated their own progenitors. So why would they not just kill everybody? I'm really confused by this. I doubt there's going to be explanation in this episode, but I hope in part 2 they come up with a reason that they're not all just being wholesale slaughtered here. So Bortus surrenders the bridge. The Kalon are basically telling everybody to get out of their stations. Gordon and the rest are leaving the bridge, and the Kalon are all marching out onto the bridge, and all in perfect unison sit in their various bridge stations. And they're breaking into the Orville's computer. So they're stealing the Orville. And Nerdrotic's in the house. Good to see you, Nerdrotic. So, if you haven't been following me so far, Nerdrotic, on this review, I'll tell you, there's a couple of problems I have. Overall, this is obviously an outstanding episode. But right now, there's a couple of things I don't understand. One, which is really, really bugging me right now, why didn't the Kalons simply exterminate the entire crew of the Orville right off the bat? It doesn't make any kind of sense. There is a reason they're on the bridge. I'm assuming that the reason they're stealing the Orville, they're going to use it in some way. But why didn't they just kill the crew? Why march them? Why march them onto the landing bay and just leave them there? That doesn't make sense. I know the reason is plot armor, but I'm looking for an in-story reason. But anyway, let's move on. So, and Isaac is taking his science station. They're setting course for Earth. And so the Kalon have effectively commandeered the Orville. Although, what do they need the Orville for? Oh, and there go the Spears of Death. Yeah, so they are ships. So the Spears of Death are following the Orville, which is another very impressive visual scene. Again, this episode's starship porn is among the best I've ever seen. So you can see the Orville flying past the camera and all the Spears of Doom lifting off in a massive armada to obviously attack Earth. Let's see. Oh, it's an update by Feige, not a trailer. Couldn't see the end of the description on my notifications. Oh, okay, fair enough. Too bad. I would love to see it. An actual another Avengers trailer, but that's okay. We'll be seeing that movie soon enough. Hey, look, Spaceballs. You're right. They are Spaceballs. I wonder if Seth MacFarlane did that on purpose. And I wonder if we're going to get a line. Like, I could see Gordon saying, "What's with all the Spaceballs?" or something. That would be freaking hilarious. So Nerdrotic thinks the Union security codes, but they decrypted the computer in a matter of seconds. What do they need Union security codes for? They've got 8 billion Spears of Death that are large particle cannons. What? I don't know. Maybe if if the Spears of Death are unmanned, then maybe they need the Orville so that they can control them. But it still doesn't make sense to me why they didn't just kill everybody. Why not kill the crew? But let's see what happens here. So the entire armada is now leaving. And let me show you. Yet another insane starship porn shot. Look at that. I'm assuming that this is probably, because looking at the time, there's only a minute left. So I'm assuming this is the final shot of the episode right here. So let's see. And there's the Orville. Look, boy, some of these Spaceballs are freaking huge. Didn't get the idea that there were a lot of different sizes, but apparently, yeah, there's little Spaceballs and there's gigantic Spaceballs. So that's interesting. Yep, to be continued. So, bravo, Seth MacFarlane. Bravo. That was out freaking standing. And I don't believe my Hulu feed gives me the previews for next week, but let me see. John Favreau was on that one, huh? Oh, as a consultant. Okay. How is he a consultant? Yeah, so unfortunately, no preview for next week there, but I'll look that up. So this is a tough one to score because And by the way, I do like that, Hector. It's an invasion, not 5 Klingon ships. Yes. So prediction for next week. I don't know. They really wrote themselves into a corner with this. I do think that Isaac's going to end up being the key. And yeah, I knew Favreau was part of it, but that's kind of weird that he listed it as a consultant as opposed to maybe produced by or something. All right, I'm watching the trailer right now. It's for next week, so I can kind of see what it's going to be. Well, there's definitely some action. So you think it's... Let me think. Ship quiz from a TNG episode. All right, ship quiz time. While I'm pondering how part 2 is going to go, I'm bad. That's a tough one. Notice the color on the space balls. What, the red? Or was there some, did I miss something? Let me go back. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. Are you talking about all the red, or are you talking... Oh, wait. Is that... Hold on. Yeah, I don't see what you're saying. Every Kalon so intelligent man trying to fool 100 Moriartys. Yeah. In the trailer, I wanted to see it now desperately. If it like anything from Best in Both Worlds Part 2, you'll be underwhelmed. That's... Some are not red. It's kind of hard to tell when in the overall shots. Let me go back and look at this again. So, looking at... I'll bring up the trailer here. Let's make it full screen. All right, so... Another beautiful starship porn shot here. This is part of the trailer for part 2, obviously. And so we have some Kalon here that, we still have Isaac with his blue eyes. And let's move forward a little bit. All right, so now this is interesting in that if you look at this, the very center is got red and blue, and you have some blue highlights around here. But if you look at this one, it looks the same. You can see the center has a little bit of blue trim and blue highlights there as well. And so I don't think... And this one as well, you can see that blue ring in the middle. So I don't think that that will be a factor. But well, let's continue. All right, so here's in the middle of the big battle. We got a couple up here. I think that the red is just less pronounced. You're going to do a Patreon stream right after this? Probably, yeah, and just a few minutes after this. Everything after the scanning beam when they first arrived at Kalon is a simulation. By the end of the next episode, everything will be back to normal. Final test or whatever to join the Union. I hope that's not the case, Bird of Prey. I don't want to see a cop-out like that. I guess Seth's Orange Man bad. Okay. But let's see. Continue on a little bit. See, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I don't see that any of them are not red, to be honest with you. I think that it's just there are parts where the red glow is less pronounced. And that's just a lighting thing when they're with what they're doing. So that being said, I'm really looking forward to it. So the Avengers trailer will be shown on TV after Captain Marvel, probably as part of that advertising the same week. Okay. So the question of, as far as what happens next week, obviously there's going to be some action. They do show that much. It looks like they obviously recommandeer the Orville. They're successful there. But yeah. So next Thursday, you're going to watch the Orville instead of STD. Man, as much as I would love to, I think I got to stick with my regular pattern. I'm going to do Orville on Saturday. Avengers tickets go on sale April 2nd. I can't wait. Yeah, so Saturday night I will do the Orville stream just like I did. Please, no, Orville first. Well, all right, we'll see. We'll see. I'll flip a coin. We'll see. Well, I'll tell you what, Bird of Prey, I will consider it. I still have a couple of days, obviously, before Thursday. Now, Bird of Prey, I assume you are back now, correct? So that when I sign off here, we can do the supporter stream right away. Okay, good. So, heads up, we've detected copyright audio. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. That's nice. So, I got a content issue because it's funny. So all this time showing clips from the episode, no problem. Show part of the trailer for next week, and YouTube pops it up. Yes, I know, Thomas. Hopefully you guys can all see me still, so that's funny. Let me bring, I'm going to, so you guys can see it. This is what I see on my screen. Look at the very top. Content issues detected. Heads up, we've detected copyright audio and video in your stream. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. Says YouTube. Alright, so now, let's see. Let's move this back over here where it was. So, nice to know that YouTube is so good at detecting copyright stuff. Guess who's got 3 months worth experience contract at his local gym? I go there all the time, so trust me, I know what I'm doing. Good to see you, Sledgehammer. Haven't talked to you in a while. All right, so now let me get to antichecker.com before Thomas busts a vein here, which we don't want Thomas to bust his vein all over the place. That could get messy. All right, and we already looked. That's the same, Thomas. I see the same ship you showed a minute ago. Or is this on Discord? Oh, you put it on Discord. Okay. There it is. All right. All right, so let's get to... All right, guys. So remember the rules. First person to successfully identify this ship gets a super chat reward. Now, this one should be, I would say... Let me look at Thomas's official answer here. Let's see. Okay. iCloud streamer mode. There we go. All right. So this one, we need the name of the actual ship. All right. So we want the actual name of the ship, not just the type of ship. However, here's what I'm going to throw out there. I'm going to throw a little bonus on there. The first person that can name the ship will, and I assume, now correct me, I want to make sure, Thomas, that is the name of the ship that you put in your answer, correct? That is the actual registry name of the ship. So, first person to name the actual ship gets a super chat reward. If you can name the ship and the class of ship, you can pick anything. Super chat, uber chat, mega chat. But you only got 30 seconds to do it. So, you guys ready? Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Thomas. But that's one of the reasons that I'm giving that little bonus here for the class of the ship. All right, guys, you ready? Here it comes. Name that ship. If you can name the actual registry of the ship, You can pick a super chat. If you can name the registry of the ship and the class of ship that this is, then you can pick anything I've got to offer there. It's not the Red Dwarf. Definitely not. And it's not a Packledge ship. The Husnock Zuzu class. Gaylor class, no. It looks like a phaser. It kind of does look like a phaser. Butt plug. That's Klingon. No. Data's Pecker, Titanic. You've got the right race, but that's kind of obvious from the design. It looks Vulcan. So that's clue number one. It is a Vulcan ship. So, yeah, it's not the Normandy. It's not the Dustbuster. Kalon Dildo. What is with you guys? Terrible. To Panthea? Peter, that's the closest I've seen so far to the actual name. Really expensive gaming mouse? It's the Surak? No. T'Pau, Apollo class. Illegal Clown nailed it. Yes, this is the T'Pau, and it is the Apollo class starship. How the hell does it make sense that the Vulcans build an Apollo class starship? How does that make any sense whatsoever? So, Thomas, when did the T'Pau actually appear on screen, or did it? Because I don't remember ever seeing the T'Pau. Because, yeah, the Anal Blaster 5000, that would be, was it Unification that we saw the T'Pau? Oh, because, let's see. Okay. But why an Apollo class? How does that make sense? Oh, that's right, the 3 ships with the Romulan troops. Thank you, yeah, I forgot about them. So, yeah. So, with that, though, Illegal Clown, you can pick any of the Super Chat, Uber Chat, or Mega Chat rewards. Make your pick, my friend, but make it wisely. So, that since you did nail, I'm sure that Google helped you, but you did nail it. Could be a joint Starfleet Vulcan design. That could be. You're doing a top secret. Yeah, we are going to do a top secret stream, Darth, in just a little bit. Maybe a translation thing. Yeah, could be. Now, Illegal Clown's not going to pick a Super Chat, Uber Chat, or Mega Chat reward, which means that that'll all go to waste. Come on. Illegal Clown, I know you're there. You did a great job picking out the ship. Now all you got to do is pick what you want to suffer with. The list is right here. Super Turds. You got it. My absolute favorite Super Turds. So here we go, and then we're going to wrap things up here. Oops, helps if I unmute it. Hold on, I know, I didn't unmute it, so it's starting over and over and over until I go. There we go.
In the Great Bowl of the Justice League, there floats the world's 4 greatest turds. Created from cosmic indigestion, Super Turd. Wonder Turd. Bat Turd. Aqua Turd. And those 2 junior Super Turds, Lore Reloaded and Punchy the Wonder Cat.
I do love me the Super Turds. They are the absolute best. Shouldn't Bat Turd be called Guano Man? Well, yeah, you would think so. And no, I know Super Turds versus Doomcock. We got to get that, but it's going to be a while, to be honest with you. So, with that, we are going to wrap it up. So, those of you that are patron supporters or subscribers to antitrekker.com, there will be the link to the super secret patron live stream within, let me see, it is 10 after right now. So I'm going to go for right at the bottom of the hour. So it'll be 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific time. We will start the super secret patron stream. It's not going to be a particularly long one, but there's basically one particular issue that I really want to talk to you guys directly about, because if we pull this off, it could be freaking awesome and next level. But I want to make sure it's something that you guys would really want to be a part of. So basically what'll happen is when the stream is at 2:30, when the stream, or 2:30 my time, I'm in the central time zone, when the stream is getting ready to start, I will post the stream on the patron site, and also we will send out a email via the antitrekker.com, and then we'll just chit chat for a few minutes while people get into the stream, and then we'll talk about my evil plans. And so, and also Bird of Prey is saying he will post it on the Antitrekker community on the forums in the subscriber only section. So, and yes, the email will go out from, if you're subscribed on antitrekker.com, there'll be an email going out to everybody who is a subscriber on the website. And by subscriber on the website, it means a paid subscription as opposed to anybody that's registered on the website. So just so you know, there is a difference there. Same thing as a patron. In the meantime, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Man, that was an awesome episode. I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. The only reason it's a 9 instead of a 10 is, A, they had to dumb down Captain Mercer and the gang midway through, and B, unless they come, you know, I could revise the score in the second half. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10 if they come up with a logical reason why they didn't kill off everybody on the Orville, because I think that is a gaping plot hole right there. In the meantime, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. You guys are the best and all that good stuff. So, hey, you know what it's time to do? It's time to sing.
And sing it, sing it, sing it. My, this here Anakin guy. Sing it. Maybe Vader someday later, now he's just a small fry. Sing it. He left his home and kissed his mama goodbye. Sing it. Saying soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Sing it, sing it, sing it, sing it. See how good the boy could be. So we took him there and we told the tale how his Morty chlorons were off the scale, and he might fulfill the prophecy. Sing it! Morty chlorons, Morty chlorons, Morty. Sing it! Chlorons, Morty. Sing it! Chlorons, Morty. Sing it! Chlorons, Morty. Sing it! Morty, 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 sing it!